Are we back?
We coming. Yeah, we coming. We coming. We coming.
Okay.
They say it's setting up now.
Is you gonna cut it back more?
Huh?
We're coming. They're trying to steal our shine.
I know. Yeah. No, we all right. We back on. Day is going off, y'all.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Bree, we back. And you managed to be number one again at the top of the list, yo. Yo. Yeah. Y'all.
About. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Miss Simone, you have nothing to apologize for. You lifted our spirits. What are you talking about, yo?
Guys,
Like, we needed that.
Yeah. Well, I hope
Instagram is some haters. We gotta give them chances to come back up. They coming back on.
Okay. All right. We're coming. We're back. Almost.
This is crazy. Yeah,
we want to stop our smile. You look so much better when you.
Yo, right? Haters, yo. You right, mine ain't nothing but the devil.
I already know. I can hear mine right now. The devil is among us.
I would just said that was the worst 5 minutes of my life. Yo, I know, yo. They some haters.
It's okay. It's okay.
They some haters.
But I just wanted to share that video with y'all because when I hear that song, it helps to lift my spirits. It makes me happy. And then the part when Tyrese comes on and he's doing the I'm like, oh. So if you guys haven't heard that song before, it's Kirk Franklin's Smile. And you can find it on YouTube. That wants to stop the video. But just Google Kirk Franklin Smile. And I think it's on like BET's YouTube channel. So you can watch it there if you want to get the full video clip.
No, you blessed us, Miss Simone.
Thank you guys for listening, watching. And so today we're just going to talk about a smile, the benefits of it, how to practice it, reasons why people don't smile, all the things. So Jada's going to give her perspective. And if y'all have any comments, anything you want to share, please, you know what we do. Go ahead, put it in the comments. But Jada, give us your perspective on a smile.
Okay, so I believe that a smile is really important to the brand because like Ms. Joni said, she put us in opportunities to win. So if you walk in and you like frowned or you feel in some type of way, they just automatically going to know that your vibes is off. And they already going to know that they probably don't want to work with you because a smile is a part of your first presentation. Like when you walk in, that's all they're going to see is your face. Also, it takes more muscles in your face to frown. Like, for you to be upset, it takes you a lot more energy to be upset than it does to be happy. So like being negative doesn't get you nowhere. It's just like you sitting in a funk of negativity for no reason. Also, smiling is like, I don't know, it's like a way to like talk without talking. Like if you're in a room full of people and nobody's smiling and you walk in smiling, a bunch of people off the break gonna start smiling. They like, oh, she's happy, I'm gonna be happy too. Like, it's nothing better than that domino effect that you feel when you smile at somebody and they smile back and you just keep smiling and people just keep smiling back at you. It's like, I think that it's like one of the best features. When you take a picture, smiling is like, why aren't you smiling in your pictures? Like if your face is like strong, if you got special facial features, smiling always helps. Like it just makes you feel better.
This is great, Jada. I agree. All right, so talk to us, because I don't want this presentation to seem like it's just all up in the air, bubbly, smile, because I know y'all get on me sometimes, like, Miss Simone, why are you always smiling? I get it, guys. There are definitely these valid reasons why you don't want to, but let's talk about them, and then we're going to talk about how to, like, overcome them. And just especially since we're talking about mental health this week and we've had some fire sessions, I don't want y'all to think you have to just smile through everything and not. You could still talk to someone, address your issues. You don't have to keep it all in, but still walk out in the world confident in who you are, that you're overcoming anything that life throws at you. So now that we made that disclaimer, Jada, tell us some reasons why.
why people don't smile is self-esteem issues, or stress, or depression, or negative outlooks on life. Overall, I believe that all of those tie together because, like, as you get older, you start to stress about certain things, and as you stress or as you become stressed, you can, like, I guess, make yourself depressed because you feel like, well, if I'm not being as productive as I should be, then, like, what am I good for? Or what can I really do? And then that bothers your self-esteem, which it shouldn't. And bothering your self-esteem can give you a negative outlook on life. You don't want to be emotionless. You don't want to be seen. You want to be, like, behind the shadows. You want to wear dark colors all the time. Even though if you are happy and you wear dark colors, those don't, like, have anything to do with each other. But you tend to wear more darker colors when you're depressed. Like, you don't open your windows to get some sun in. You could also, like, not smile because of rejection. You might feel like, oh, I don't have braces, or my lips not this big, or they're not this thin, or my smile doesn't look like this, so I don't want to smile. But everybody has a different smile, and that's what makes you a person. Also, like, not the appropriate time or place. I don't like, you don't go to a funeral smiling. I mean, you could be sad, or you should be sad, but, like, sometimes you just gotta look for, like, the positivity, even though, you shouldn't be smiling at a funeral, or if somebody got hurt, or any of those sorts.
Yeah, that's good, Jada. And then how to smile when you don't feel like it.
How to smile when I don't feel like it is, I look at, like, pictures or memes. It's a lot of pictures in my gallery that are of myself that are just, like, funny. I just be like, what was I doing? Or watching videos. Also, you can, like, listen to music. Like, Happy by Pharrell makes me happy. I don't even know why. I don't. Also, like, Smile by Kirk Franklin can also make you smile. One of the most important things I learned is to fake it till you make it. If you're not happy now, you're gonna be happy later. But you better walk through this room with a smile, cause, like, why not? Basically, like, why not? You could also think of happy times. Like a birthday party, or, like, the birth of a family member that you love a lot, or any of those sorts of things. It's just so much stuff you could do.
Absolutely. Jada, can you tell us about a time in your life where you probably did not feel like smiling, and how you overcame it and still, like, found some joy so that you could smile?
Okay. A time I didn't feel like smiling. A lot of stuff happened in 10th grade year. My grandmother passed away in, like, March, so that really, like, made me depressed, like, a lot, like, heavily depressed. And I didn't want to smile. It was like I wasn't happy. I wasn't myself. It took me a long time to get over it, but, like, as the school year went on and it became summertime, it was kind of like, she passed away, and I am grieving, but I can't be depressed because that's not the life that she would want me to live. I gotta shed some positivity into this. Like, because she passed away, what do I now do with myself to, like, keep myself motivated, because she's not here to motivate me anymore? And I basically was just like, I just started writing. When 11th grade came around, I got into a creative writing class. I started, like, writing letters. I got interested in calligraphy class, stuff that had to do with art, stuff that, like, you could express or let out anger or happiness.
Yeah. I love that, Jada. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think the main part I want people to take away about these slides is that, y'all, the world, it's always happening. Everywhere you go, the reasons not to smile, right? But if you can be intentional about your happiness, just like how we want y'all to be intentional about your success. Like, to me, this slide, as we were making it, I was like, oh, you're right. Like, I don't have to be upset. Like, let me go look at a funny picture or a meme and get myself back pumped up. Like, life is gonna happen. It is. There's some things to do. Do I need to call a friend that's gonna make me laugh? Do I need to stand in the mirror and make funny faces? I love when you put that bullet point, Jada, because I was like, sometimes life needs to be serious. Go look at yourself, make funny faces, do what you need to, think about happy times, do a creative writing class, like you said, Jada, put that energy into something positive, so that you can still make something of your life and yourself and your purpose, and you can put out the energy that sometimes you might be needing if you're in a dark space, right? Because if we're all in a dark space, who's going to be that light to shine, to break in, to bust it out, to spread it? Because all it takes is one smile. And the fake it till you make it part, y'all know I had to do a little research. Okay, so there's actual science that says if you just start smiling, like your body is so, our bodies are powerful, y'all. We were created to like do life and do love together. So when you smile, like positive, the muscles in your face to your brain, positive hormones called endorphins. And endorphins are like the hormones that make you feel happy. So honestly, I want y'all to, if you sit in the mirror, just smile. Like just look, it will start to make your mood change. You might feel a little different. So sometimes just trying it when you don't feel like it can help. But also talk to people, all the things you need to do to make sure that you feel and are healthy. But a smile is a good first step. Okay. So, like Jada said, smiling is part of the first impression. Like anytime I just try to practice that. This is why you guys like Miss Simone always, because you will never, whenever I meet someone, I'm automatically like, here we go. I want that to stay in your mind that when you met Simone Sawyer, she had a smile on her face, and like Jada, it enhances your features, like it brings your cheek, it's just bright and it's welcoming and it's homey. And you just never know how that can impact somebody's day, or just any time they think about you, they remember your face with a smile. Jade, did you want to talk about the spreading positive energy a little bit more?
Yes, I know that a lot of times people can like wake up in the morning, come to school, and it's people running around screaming because they got all this early morning energy. And sometimes you don't have all that energy, but a smile will do you justice. Like spreading that positivity around like the school building, because that's where you spend that's where we spend most of our time, like in our lives. So like, why not make it a positive place? That's why I have no problem with smiling at somebody I don't speak to, don't know, never seen before, just transferred, just got here. Like smiling is the easiest and the freest thing you can give to someone. So
Yeah.
like spread that positive energy.
Yes, Jada, that's good. And I feel like it goes to the last bullet point about smiling brings friendly vibes, right? Like it's attractive, it's welcoming. I also found out it makes you look younger. So, that helps because it takes less work to smile than it does to frown. So you're already like helping, people get like boosters in their cheeks and all the Botox and stuff. But if you practice your smile, you're already lifting those muscles. So that's a good little tip if you want to look young. And it just brings good energy. And then our guest speaker yesterday, Mr. Orn, was talking about how stress will really like kill you, and how it's like one of the big, and it really is, like stress impacts so many things in your body. So when you smile, smiling is associated with laughter usually, and they say that that helps to de-stress. It can reduce your blood pressure. So if you're stressed, your blood pressure is high, intense, but if you're smiling, laughing, free, you're breathing, it can reduce blood pressure, strengthen your immune system because you're not putting all that stress and pressure on your immune system. So it really does lead to a healthier, better life. And again, like I said, with the mood booster stuff, when you're intentional about smiling and incorporating it in your day, you're more likely to be laughing, having funny stuff around you. And it just really changes your vibe. You feel lighter, you're not letting, because I'm not saying things are happening, but you won't let that impact like how you're feeling all the time. All right. So how to smile? Because I know sometimes it's like, okay, Miss Sonda, all this is cute, but I don't like my smile. Where do I start? I don't really know. But I think the first thing to do is just tell yourself that your smile is beautiful and it's powerful, because it is. Like the fact that smiling is contagious, like you can literally look at someone and if they smile at you long enough, you probably will smile. Like you don't even have to say anything, like Jada said. It's communication without saying anything. That is something powerful. So know that first things first, your smile matters, okay? And then with all the social media, don't be comparing yourself to others. Like Jada said, oh, I don't have straight teeth, or I don't have the pearliest white. No, 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 no. That's okay. You do what makes it work for you. As long as you are feeling joy in yourself and you know that you are doing a smile to spread positivity to someone else, that's the most important thing that matters. And just knowing that you are uniquely and wonderfully made no matter what. There's no one person that is the same. Y'all, even it blows my mind when I think about it. Like, not even twins, even they have different fingerprints. So when you were born, it is something different and special about you. I don't care what anybody says. You are the only you. So that no one else has your smile. No one else has the energy and positivity that you bring. So you need to bring your full best self as much as you can every day and be confident that what you have is enough and it's important. Okay.
Right. To step back to what Mr. said, as a teenager, I know it's hard to hear people say, you know, you are beautiful no matter what you think. Even though you hear people tell you that, sometimes it's about what you believe on the inside. And you might not be happy with what you look like at the moment, but always remember that you're going to grow and you're going to change every day because you're not going to look the same. And I know that from experience because my self-esteem is one of my biggest problems. Like, it's so bad that I used to give people my ideas and let them run with it. And people really be thinking that those are their ideas. And I just be like, well, at least you're happy because I'm not happy with myself. But that's not how you're supposed to be. Like, you're going to hear people say it all the time, but like really believe that it's really in you, that you are the prettiest person out there, no matter what you look like, no matter where you going, no matter what you got on. As long as you believe that, it's going to come true. And it's going to take a while if you don't believe that now, but you're going to get there. And when you get there, you're going to be like, wow, I was sitting back here all this time, being sad, being depressed for no reason. Because there's really no reason to. Like, if you really smile, you can get through anything.
Preach. Preach. Yes, Jada Johnson. Yes. Give the people what they need. And it's so true. And I thank you for saying that because I can only imagine. I know when I was a teen, it was hard. And then now social media and just all the pressures that you guys might have and feel and face. And that's why we want to pour into you so much because we want you to know that you have what you need, okay? And you keep growing and you make it better and you perfect your craft. But y'all, don't let anyone or anybody tell you that you can't be the best you. You aren't me. I am me. I'm getting help on my path. I'm perfecting my craft. But what I have inside of me is important and it's enough. So thank you, Jada. That was powerful. So do you want to practice taking pictures or just like kind of getting in the mirror and being silly and figuring out how you want your smile?
Right. Also, don't forget to find reasons to smile and be intentional about your happiness because taking pictures was really hard. Like I told you all, like my self-esteem is my biggest problem. Even though I'm overcoming it some, I would not take pictures like if my hair wasn't done or if I didn't look a certain way or if I couldn't catch the right angle or the sunlight. But now that's like not the point. Like I take pictures all the time, like to compare features, to see where I've grown, to see the difference in certain things in like my face or my background or where I started to where I am now. It's no reason that you should not take a picture. You don't have to show it. You may not have to post it. You know, you could criticize it later if that's what you feel like, but those pictures are for you. Like those are the pictures that you look at when you are by yourself and you're crying or you're depressed or you feel alone. You look at that picture and be like, you and I are together. We got each other. It is me, myself, and I in this game. And the only way we're going to get out this problem that we in is if we pick our own selves up because there's nobody going to be there to pick you up. That's why it's called self-esteem. It's only within yourself. Like that's nothing else I could say about it, but it's self. Like, it's about you.
Yeah. Why you Jada? I love
because
it.
I know a lot of people who deal with that, and I really felt alone for a long time. So I don't want nobody else to feel like that. Like just because you like depressed feeling like it's the you show. You wake up every morning by yourself. You came in this world by yourself. It's about you. The show must go on because it's about you. It's your show. Like today is your birthday. Every day is your birthday because it's about you. Like don't let nobody nothing else.
Love that. I love it. And I
Miss
think
Simone, now you see why I was so mad when she was in the grave, y'all.
y'all,
Did you see what she been holding in all this greatness? This is why I be fussing at people because like, yo, you had all this in you. You know how many people you blessing right now? Comments blowing up, yo, because you are really talking something that is needed and powerful. So Thank you for finally getting out of that coffin.
Thank
We
you.
needed you.
Thank you.
No. And I think that's what you said about taking pictures and criticizing. Why do y'all think that's so true? Like, as soon as I take a picture, I look at myself and I'm like, oh, no, I don't like this. I don't like that. And so now I'm trying to be intentional more. First, about taking pictures, one, like you said, because usually I don't take pictures. And second, when I look in the mirror, and it might sound, but I try to look at things that I like, ooh, my smile is cute. Okay, girl. Or me and my hair looks nice. I like the way my ears look. I like don't be afraid to talk about the things you like about yourself, especially before you go tearing yourself down. Do you have any thoughts on that, Jay? Like why we look at pictures and start immediately down?
Okay, so when I used to look at pictures of myself, I'd be like, my face looks a little lopsided and a little unproportionate. So then I was like, well, if it do, I'm gonna just tilt my head this way. Now everything looks easy. Like, just because something don't look the way you want it, you can fix it. Now, I don't mean like go out there and get plastic surgery or, do crazy stuff. I mean, find a way around it. Like, it's not that hard. It's really quite simple. You just have to think about it. Like, really put yourself into it. If you don't put yourself into it, you won't get nothing out of it, basically. I also, like, when I was younger, I used to hear people all the time, oh, you have the prettiest eyes. Oh, they are so pretty. Like, people would really be up close and personal staring at me. And I'd be like, okay, you see that? That's not what I see. Now I'd be like, is that you, girl? Okay, let me see you. Like, I'd be pumping my own stuff up because that's the only person, like, inside my head, it's only me. It's not the lady next door. It's not Miss Joni. It's not nobody else, because nobody else is going to push you as hard as yourself. So why not take this time to see what's inside of you and use it? Like, I don't write, but I can write. I don't like to read, but I can read, like, really well. I don't like talking to people that I really don't know. But if you ask me something, I got great advice. I just don't use it. Well, I didn't use it. I do now. But you have to find what's in you because it's in there. And don't tell yourself that you can't. Change the way you talk. If you say this is ugly, don't say that anymore. Say, if you change this about it, it would be better. And I learned that from my cousin, Diamond. She's a fashion designer. And I'd be like, this is ugly and this is ugly. And she'd be like, but you can revamp it. You can rebrand it. You can fix it. You can change it. It's all about how you do it and what you do to it.
I love that, Jada. And what I keep hearing you say consistently is like you got to be intentional about loving yourself.
Yes.
Really, really intentional about loving yourself. I'm going to say it again. Be intentional about loving yourself. Okay? And another little quote that people say, don't tell yourself anything you wouldn't tell your best friend or someone you love. Because some of the stuff we tell ourselves, oh, ugly, this and that, you would never say to someone you care about. So why would you say it to yourself? Right?
But don't lie. Be completely honest. Like, if you don't like something, just fix it. Just don't lie about it, though. Don't tell me I look great and my hair is all over the place. But make sure you take that constructive criticism and you flip it to positivity. Like, if you did this, it would be so much better.
Yeah, that's a good one. Constructive criticism. Oh, okay. We have a question from Mar. How do you smile with your eyes? This is a good one.
I think, I don't know. It's kind of like if you internalize it in your head and you think about it, like, look at this, move your head around, wink your eyebrows, open and close your eyes a little bit, like how birds flash their feathers to like fall in love. Flash them eyelashes, yo. Flash them. Move them around. Look up, look down, look around. Like, get some sunlight into them if you got to. But it's like a thought. You just feel like I don't know.
No, you do. Okay, so this goes into the types of smile. That was good, Jada, because the point of this is there's all different kinds. There's not a one size fits all. Some people show teeth, some people don't want to show teeth. Some people, and y'all probably do this, the smiles comes from Tyra Banks, American Idol. She talks about smiling with your
model.
Oh yes. What did I say?
American Idol.
Oh, I said American Idol. I'm so sorry. I was thinking about singing. Okay, but America's Next Top Model, she talks about the smiles and really smiling with your eyes. And it just really goes even deeper to being more intentional. Like even if you do have like kind of a serious resting face, you're making sure your eyes are open, welcome. And like even if you're not smiling with teeth, you are pretty much doing all the things you would do in a smile so that it comes across in like your whole face and your being, but you don't actually have to like do it. So I would say Google it. And we have some example pictures at the end that I can show you guys of what a smile looks like. But I wanted to ask y'all the question, if you have already found the right smile for you, how did it happen and kind of when did it happen? So what I mean by this is like, there's always going to be different times in life where, you know, you're really feeling good about yourself or sometimes you're not. But I think I really kind of like you, Jada, where people were like, oh, your eyes look nice. Your eyes look nice. I was like, people kept saying, oh, your smile, your smile. I'm like, what is up with this? What in the world? Okay, let me see what this is all about. And it was because when I started working at Chick-fil-A, I remember the guy was like, oh yeah, you're gonna be great. You walked in here with like that beautiful smile. That's gonna like be really nice. So I was like, oh, I'm already getting like jobs and stuff. He wants to give me a job just off my smile. Let me see. So I would go looking at me. I'm like, oh, I really am cute. Okay, I just got my braces off. Let's do this smile thing. But y'all, I didn't keep my retainer on like I should. So if you have braces, please wear your retainer. And sometimes my teeth are starting to shift. And I was having moments where I'd be like, dang, like this tooth is kind of going back. So let me do this kind of smile, this. And then I had to realize, Simone, it's not about the actual smile, it's about you inside and the energy you bring, and that no matter how you think others are going to perceive you, you're still walking in confidently with your smile, with your teeth crooked, shit, whatever. It's about that inner joy. So that's what I mean. Like, when did you find your smile? Because I don't want y'all to always think about it as a cosmetic thing. Your smile really comes from your inner joy and peace and the energy you want to bring into the world. So if y'all have any comments about that, put it in the chat. Or Miss Joni and Jay, did y'all have any?
Oh, it's a lot of comments. I was just doing the questions. It's a lot of comments. This comment is interesting though from Kamaya. She says, I was so insecure about my smile for a very, very long time. I smiled a lot, but my family used to make fun of it.
I'm sorry, Kamaya.
Smile at it.
Yeah, Ari said, I feel like you naturally smile with your eyes when you are truly happy.
Yeah, that's good, Ari.
That's true.
It really, really is. So we wanted to give y'all some quotes about smiling just to reinforce what we've been talking about today. Jay, do you want to read some of these?
Okay. The first quote says, when the heart smiles, dreams can form.
Mr. Ray.
Yes, show the heart smile shirt.
Yeah.
It says, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Thanks, Annie, because that's true. It says, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. A smile is a friend maker. Smile at strangers and you might change a life. Don't smile at just anybody though. I mean, smile when as you walk the streets, you know, but don't just stop and be like, hey, you know, don't do that. That's really weird. You know, I don't want anybody out there, you know, messing with strangers because it's unsafe. The next one says, the source of a true smile is an awakened mind. You can get that from these success sessions. If you internalize it and use it for yourself, you know, you'll start to smile more because you'll be like, oh, I know this, you know. You feel more confident. I smile like a flower, not only with my lips, but with my whole being. That's basically like how you present yourself. Like, don't slouch, don't like, you know, cover your face up. You know, when you smile, sit up, you know, look happy, you know, work on your posture, stuff like that. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy, which is like, if you smile and you're sad, you become happy. If you're laughing and you're joking, your smile will appear, and that show, you know, you'll have a joyous moment. You know, you'll make a sound, a happy sound, stuff like that.
Absolutely. And so the whole point is just that we know not all the time it's going to be smart, but try to be intentional about thinking about your smile and your happiness when you can. So this is the surprise that I was waiting for, that I was telling you guys about. I'm sorry it's not any like, hate telling y'all about surprise because y'all think it's like money or candy or something. I'm so sorry. It's just the pictures of your beautiful faces. I just want to let y'all know that we love it when y'all smile. So shout out to Cam, Jada, James, Stinka, beautiful smiles, showing teeth, giving life, giving love. We got Wavy King on here, Shala, Elder, Marcus Allen, and the Honorable Elijah Cummings. Just look at how much just seeing these smiles just makes your heart just so warm. Then we got Amaya and Breezy, Summer and Ari showing off their smiles. We love to see it. Corey and Q, we got, y'all know, Jaheim never smiles, but this is what.
Never.
You don't have to even show your teeth. Even just, he's kind of smizing, y'all. You can see it in his eyes. He has his, like, cheeks filled up. Nira, Mar, showing off their pearly whites. Lene, Love, Hyla, she has her no teeth smile, still looking cute and beautiful. We got Miss Money Mo, Mira. Yeah. Right, Kayla, she's hitting y'all with the smize and the just the cheek. You don't have to show teeth. And then the beautiful Taylor. So everyone is beautiful. If your picture isn't on there, we still recognize you and we love you and we hope that you're smiling today. And we just wanted to end off with this quote that says, use your smile to change the world. Don't let the world change your smile.
Exactly.
All right.
I think that quote kind of connects to Kamaya. Like you would say, like your family laughed at your smile, but that don't mean you should stop smiling just because somebody laughing. Like it don't matter like what other people think about you, because at the end of the day, it's still about you. Don't let people think, don't let what people think like affect you. Like it's so many people who probably called me ugly, and I'd be like, okay,
how? They can
like,
call you lazy, not ugly.
Right, all right. I am
like how? They just hating. If somebody call you ugly, they just hating. They really, they got some deep problems.
Now, lazy is true. Lazy is true.
Exactly. I ain't never gonna lie to you. You getting better though. You getting better, but no, they could never call you ugly. That's crazy.
But nobody ever at all is ugly. Now, you may gotta grow into your features and you may gotta enhance them with a little Blistex, a little lip gloss, some cocoa butter, some oil, anything, but you're not ugly. And maybe some toothpaste, because don't have a good smile and stinky breath. That's not okay.
Okay, Jada, let's keep it positive.
I'm just saying, you gotta be honest.
I agree. Please just.
I just feel like
Yo, I died on the inside when she said the Blistex.
For real, like your lips can't be crusty, present yourself as you would want somebody to present themselves to you. Basically.
Yes, yo. We never have enough time, yo. This was so great. Jada, I'm so proud of you, yo. Like, I really am, like, to see you grow and blossom over these last couple of weeks has really been great. Like, I always knew you had it in you, but to see you bring it out and actually do something with it, like, it's a beautiful thing. And the world needs more of Jada. I promise you that. Thank you. What's your jewels for us today, man? What you leaving us with?
I think my jewel today is to work on your toolbox. Your toolbox is the skills that you contain, the things that you know how to do, the things that you want to learn to enhance your toolbox. Every tool does not have to be a power tool. Some tools can be a basic hammer with a wooden, handle. But remember to put your smile in that toolbox, because you can never leave without a smile, ever.
Yeah, come through, Miss Simone. What you leaving us with?
I was just gonna say, y'all, don't let people steal your joy, okay? You show up, you show out, and you be intentional about your happiness and your joy, and you bring your best smile, because we need it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Jada. Thank you, Miss Simone. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock on our favorite day.
Yes.
Friday.
All right, see y'all. Y'all, that session was amazing, man. Y'all make sure y'all show Jada some love for putting that together for us, because that was amazing. So y'all already know the mental health conversation continues. So we'll be back right at 11 with Miss Andy. Hey, y'all. We are back. The conversation continues around mental health. We about to get Miss Andy on here, y'all, and I already know that she's fire. Like, I already know it. There she go. Hey, Miss Andy.
Hey, sorry, it took me a
What's
second to
up?
find my audio. How are you?
How you doing? Good, good.
Thank you for having me.
Man, what? Thank you for taking your time out to spend with us today. Like, this is absolutely amazing. I don't know if you heard or not, but your counterpart's been showing off
I
all week
have
long.
watched all of them. They are so amazing, but also I'm like a person that very much so believes like things happen for a reason. And I'm like, I feel everyone has just authentically been building off of one another, and everything that everyone else said, I'm like, yes, that's exactly, like some of those things were exactly like literally what I was thinking, literally what I want to talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, it's been such a blessing. It's been such a blessing. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to this conversation, especially because we kind of work together a little bit.
Yeah.
with the B City project. So
Yeah.
I'm really, really, really excited. This time goes by so super fast. So I'm not going to really waste any time. I want to get right
Okay.
into it.
Okay.
Can you do like the formal introduction? And you know they like for you to spill the
Yeah,
tea.
yeah, yeah. I want to spill all the tea. Because I also like always want the tea. Um, so my name is Andy. I am originally from Washington State. So I was born and raised right outside of Seattle. I moved here just over 4 years ago to work. I guess I can rewind just a little bit. So I am 26 years old. In college, I made it my own concentration around addressing injustices within schools and communities and how there's discrepancies between the two, but also how schools work as a form of criminalization of Black and Brown youth a lot of the time. You know, like they harbor, they police, all of the things. And so when working in undergrad, I was working at the only non-lockdown emergency homeless youth shelter while I was an undergrad. So I was working with youth that were experiencing homelessness. And I realized that I've always known I wanted to work with people, but I really realized that I didn't have the words and need to have the words to be able to talk about people's experiences with them. Because it's one thing to like acknowledge someone has gone through an event or is in, excuse my language, like a really difficult or shitty situation, you know, but being able to also process that with people is so important. And so I moved here to do a year of service with AmeriCorps to work with youth involved in the juvenile justice system, and then found that the only way that I really felt that I could do what I want to do and like heal myself and my community and other people is through having the language and the words to talk about mental health and to be able to like intentionally do that with young people, families, community members, everyone. So yeah, I grew up in Washington State with my white single parent mom. Was not connected to any of my Black family actually until like this last year. Um,
Wow.
and have just been like a lot of my, I was a person that loved to talk to people. And it wasn't until I moved here, got in a serious relationship, was like, I am doing all the adult things. Like I've got my job, I'm like taking care of my health, I'm like adulting, paying my own bills, doing all these things. And it was like, how come even in a like good, healthy relationship, there are still so many things that I don't fully understand, or like I get triggered or I get upset or I'm hurt and I'm not able to express that. And I was like, you know what? I need to get into therapy. And so went to therapy. I was like, I don't really need to be here. I don't think that I have like a lot of major life crises that have impacted like my ability to function. You know, I felt like I needed to have this like huge dramatic unfortunate story that like had impacted my whole entire life to like show up and go to therapy. And really I sat down and I was read so hard. My therapist was like, yeah, no, like you have all of this stuff that you're doing right now, that's because
Wow.
you got a lot of trauma, you got a lot of shit that you're dealing with and that you need to unpack because it's clearly bottled up and eating at you, and like you're trying to figure out what it is, but really it's like you need to heal from the inside out. So
Wow.
yeah, that's how I'm here.
Wow. So first of all, you a whole baby.
I am a
like,
whole baby.
like
But
you
I'm
are
grown, you know.
really and you got here a year after Freddie Gray.
I did. Yeah. So that was also so interesting because, you know, everyone, it had made national news. And so everyone was like, did you move here? You know, and that was also a huge swarm for Baltimore. All these
Yeah.
white people, all these people not from here coming in to help and to save and to do all these things. And to be honest, I knew about, like, I had heard about the uprisings and I was in college too. And I had, like, my university was actually in the, like, national news for white supremacists on our college campus. And so, like, I had been talking with, like, the Baltimore Algebra Project, and we were running, like, on my campus, like, trying to figure out how to donate and assist and, like, help from, like, a college level area. Um, but honestly, when I applied for the job here, I was like, I know that my ancestors are Black people. My community, like I'm a person of color. I'm the only person of color in my family other than my sister. And I
Wow.
need to be around Black people. Like I was not connected to any Black family, Black mentors, Black ancestors. Like I had a community, and many of my friends are actually like Black, but also were raised by like single parents or white single parents. And so also we're disconnected from this sense of like feeling like we had a Black community. And also Washington State is very culturally and racially and nationally diverse, but is also real white. And it's probably, I think the last time I checked, which was a couple months ago, was like 6% Black. So
Wow.
I had never, you know, I was never in a predominantly Black area ever in my entire life. And so going to college and realizing that, oh, even in college where like all these people are supposed to be really smart, and we're talking about things, because even as a kid, my mom never brought up the word race. My mom never really talked about me being Black other than like, oh, your hair, or like your skin color. And so like that was never a conversation that I ever had in home. And so I went to college and they're like, white supremacy, racism, all these things. And I'm like, holy shit. Sorry, but I was like, I know that these things are real because my friends and I have also talked about this. Why are the men in our school policed and treat the Black men treated very differently than the like white kids in our school? Why are, even out of my friends, me being like one of the lightest people, am I still treated differently than my white peers? But also there's another level because I am so light, how even, you know, like my darker skin friends are treated. And so yeah, I don't know how I got onto that tangent.
Wow. No, that is very real. And we definitely appreciate that.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna get into some of these questions because they kind of piling up. The kids, they
Yeah.
already on you.
But also when I moved here, I literally had no idea like where, like geographically, they were like, you're gonna be serving like the West Baltimore community. I was like, cool. Is there, my little question, how many Black people? Like what is the percent of Black people there? And they were like,
Oh, everybody.
like yeah, they were like, that's not real. And I was like, great, then I'm good. Like as long as there are Black people, like I don't need to know anything else. I'll figure it all out. But yes.
They put you right in the corner up in the north.
Right, truly. And I was like, okay.
Well, we are certainly blessed to have you. That's an amazing story, even just kind of like how you got here. And I'm interested to see like some of these questions that the young people have. But if you could just, however way that you can, you know, sprinkle in like that journey of healing through mental health as we go through the questions, I think like that would be amazing. And yeah, I'm gonna ask you this first one. This comes from Taylor.
Cool.
She says,
Taylor asks a lot of questions. I love it. I support.
I know, right? And they questions be straight fire. Taylor says, how do you express your passion for mental health and wanting to help others?
From like the standpoint of myself. So like this journey, and I don't think I'll ever be done, of like healing and mental health, unpacking like our own experiences for me has been the way that I also understand how to connect with others. I do connect with others and how to navigate the world around me. So, you know, everyone has been through different things in life, and some leave very traumatic impacts on people, and some are things that like they still think about. Like it could be, oh, you know, like my aunt, this one aunt always said these little comments to me, and so now every time like I look in the mirror or whatever, I'm thinking about those little comments that people told me, and how like those things impact us throughout our entire life. And unless we acknowledge them, name them, talk about them, and learn how to deal with them, they're things that we literally carry into all of our other relationships with other people. Because, you know, I saw that in my relationship with my partner, that I was like, oh, we're adults and we're healthy and we're doing all the things, we're like working on ourselves. But all of these like childhood experiences, or like these things that, these insecurities or things that upset me, came from like deeper experiences from my childhood that I was still carrying into my relationships now. And it was like, oh no, this is not going to be me forever. And I'm not going to keep on dealing with these things. So I need to really deal with them so that I can acknowledge them and move on, and not let those experiences control all of my relationships and how I show up and interact with other people.
Wow, that's powerful. When do you think someone should seek help when dealing with mental health issues before they get too bad? That's a great question.
That is a really good question. I know a couple of the speakers have already said this, but I really think like everyone needs therapy, and it's not about waiting till something happens or till you're at a breaking point. It's like everybody needs somebody to talk to, and it's clear from even just like watching all these success sessions and like seeing the work that you do. You hold a very, very strong spot in like all of these young people's hearts that you're working with. And like some people don't have that, some people don't have a way to articulate or process through like what has happened, or haven't been made to feel that it's okay or that it's safe, or is it safe to like even talk about. And so really having people to talk about, I think, is so important at whatever age, whatever level of mental health. I think that's how we also grow and blossom into like the people that we really are, and not these facades that society has like told us that we have to be.
Ooh, ooh, especially in this day and age of social
Right,
media.
right.
You preaching, Miss Andy, you preaching. Cam says, can you talk about some of the struggles that have helped to build your character? That's a deep question, Cam. Thank you for that question.
Yeah. All my traumatic experiences that have led me here today. Yeah, so I think the most prominent one that the easiest on the surface level one is probably like not growing up with my Black dad or my Black family, not having any connection, having that like feeling of abandonment and like confusion as to why, and like not even, and then realizing as I got older that my family, who I love, like the only family that I know, has also been racist to me. And maybe not overtly, but underlying racism throughout my whole childhood. And it's also because, like they don't know better. And now we're at an age where it's like people need to know better and do better and be better. So like that's not excusing that at all, because they need to do better. But it's also like, yeah, I think not realizing that how I saw myself was also so impacted by how I saw, I look back at my childhood pictures now and it's like, oh, especially in the summer when I'm out in the sun all the time, I am like the darkest and I don't even look like my mom. So like this whole thing of like, you've got this like village, you've got this family and you come from these people, but it's also like, okay, well, when people ask like, is that your mom? Or is that your family? And it's like, oh, you can't tell by like looking at us. It makes you feel like, okay, well, where do I fit? And how do I fit in this box? Because also like being mixed, is very interesting, because as a kid, especially in a home that we didn't talk about race, it was all of my experience was through my friends, and like all of the learning that happened was through social media and things like that. And it was like, oh, I'm not unpacking the way that I was treated in a store or the way an experience that I had at home, because my mom has never set that foundation that that's something that we talk about, that that's something that is abnormal or that is unjust or whatever. And so I think like those are probably the things that I didn't realize would have such lasting impacts for how comfortable I feel in a room, how comfortable I feel around other people. How am I changing myself to like appear more confident or appear more comfortable or like just survive and get by, And I think that was really brought to a head for me when I went to college, and it was like, oh, there are literal white supremacists on our college campus saying that they want to kill all of the Black students. And all of my friends are able to sit here and talk to their families about it, and their families are calling them and supporting them. And my mom is asking me like, do I really feel unsafe? And it's like, okay, like you need to read, like, or like there are so many resources, like I don't know how to help you, because it's also it's hurtful, and it like has deeper stuff for me, that it's like I have to be the one to guide you through that process while I'm going through my own stuff over here, like that, So I think, yeah, that was the very first thing that like my therapist and I talked about, like, oh, you have a lot of anxiety and you have codependence, because also you grew up in a household where I was playing a supportive parental figure to my mom. Like, I helped with the household. I helped make sure like things within the house, because my mom worked so much, were done all the time, that we had food, that my sister's homework was done, that the house was cleaned up. And like, I just grew up, and I'm honestly grateful for those experiences, because they've shaped me into the independent person that I am. But also realizing that the relationship with my mom was very different as a child because I was put in parental roles at times that I should never have been in as a child, you know? And so realizing all these things about how your childhood, it's like, oh, like I was just a kid, but it's like, oh, these experiences really impacted how I show up, how comfortable I am expressing myself and who I even know myself to be, you know?
Wow, that is deep. That is deep, man. And even when you first started talking, like just talking about the relationship between like you and your mom, I'm thinking like, I want to talk to her too. And
Right.
just like, yeah, for real. And just like get her perspective on like, like what it was like,
Yeah.
being a parent, especially, it wasn't that long ago, but a few decades ago, and
Right.
what she was dealing with. But wow, amazing insight. Elder has a deep question for you. She
Oh, yes.
says,
Hello, Elder.
Elder bring the heat.
I do. I do.
She said, did people ever make you feel bad in the Black community because of your skin color?
Hmm. I don't think, now looking back on it, I do not think people intentionally or even like were making me feel bad. I think people were also calling out my privileges as a light-skinned person, and I just didn't even have the context to talk about race to like go that deep, you know? So it was like when and I don't even feel like those conversations were brought up all of the time, but on the few occasions I can remember, you know, it's like, oh, I remember that conversation. But yeah, I think it really comes from a place of, it's like, I now am a person that like checks people or wants to hold people accountable, and does it from a place now, I think, of a lot more consideration and love and compassion and like empathy than I used to. But I also think that, like, yeah, when that is done, when someone's calling you out on your shit, at first you're like, I'm just gonna get defensive because that don't feel right. And also like, what,
Mhm.
like, no. But then once I'm able to talk about race and understand, it's like, oh yeah, like when people were telling me, like, you can say this wild, reckless shit because also the impacts for you are different than the impacts are for me or for whoever. And it's like, that is real. That's something that we need to talk about. And so I don't think that I ever felt um pushed out, or I don't know what the word was exactly, but I definitely feel like not having that foundation in my home and like that not being something that I grew up with like Black elders, Black, like in the community, are so crucial, so
Yeah,
pertinent. You know, they carry so much wisdom. And
very
so
much.
like also just, you know, for my own spirituality, being disconnected from my Black ancestors and my Black family, I felt like I didn't have access, that I wasn't like deserving of like tapping into that ancestry or tapping into like those that have gone, you know, that are past now. And really, it's all part of the like decolonization process for yourself and like self-liberation and this journey of healing that we all have to do, that like is so layered and so complicated. But yeah.
Wow. Q says, do you believe that traumatic events in one's life causes mental illness, or is it just a chemical imbalance?
Hmm.
It's a great question, Q.
Yeah, that is a great question. Well, let me start by saying I'm a graduate school student. I am not a licensed clinician or anything yet. Catch me when I am.
Y'all heard her.
but but yeah, I think it can be both. I think that you can be born based on how you were carried in the womb, what experiences like post-traumatic slave syndrome, like what things are passed down through lineage, you know, or are hereditary. But I also think that experiences, whether they're firsthand or even secondhand experiences, you know, like all of these videos of, and we're in such a social media day and age where everything is on social media. It's how some people are protected because we're showing police brutality and we're holding police officers accountable. But also we're seeing these like really gruesome and inappropriate things to be shown on social media everywhere. And like that is an easy way to like watch something or see something and you weren't even, you know, like you're looking at how to make cake pops, or you're looking, you know, like you're looking at random stuff, and then all of a sudden there's a video and it's
Mhm.
like, that sets you into like, this is the reality. But also the fact that this is flashed around like it's a new trendy mask to wear or a new sweater to wear is so inappropriate and also
Mhm.
has lasting impacts. And so I do think that like traumatic experiences and events definitely can impact mental health.
Absolutely. I think you just tripped off my mental health, because as soon as you said that, I immediately thought about the poor young man that was jogging.
Right. And I
got
refuse
killed.
to watch. Yeah, I refuse to watch it because it's also like, yeah, it's sick that like this is white supremacy, this is racism that like we're getting off. And that's like a bad term. Let me figure out how, like,
No, you real.
yeah,
You
but like
real.
we're getting off on like the death of Black people. That is inappropriate. That is disgusting. That is gross. And the fact that that's normalized, also, you know, there would not be a video of white, like all these videos of Black people being like abused and killed and whatever. No, they would not have it. They would not have it. Right. And it also just shows how disposable society thinks our bodies are, our communities are, and how like profitable we have always been since slavery, you know?
You better come through, Miss Andy. You better come through. Keon has a great question. Keon, thank you for this question. Keon says, how did you view the Black community before you had a chance to be in a predominantly Black area? The reason I'm wondering is because the media tends to send out a negative image of Black communities.
Right. I don't think that I necessarily had a view or this like stereotype or anything of the Black community. I just felt like I was so detached, you know, like I felt like, and it's also hard because Washington State is so multicultural that like one of my best friends is Simone. One is like a Peruvian, you know, like, wow. You know, my friend group was so, and is still so like nationally and culturally and racially diverse that I didn't have like a stereotype or things of that nature, but I definitely realized the first time I ever traveled anywhere that wasn't California, Montana, where my grandparents live, or South Dakota, where my other white family lives, was to a conference in Chicago. And I was like, oh shit, I've never seen this many Black people my whole entire life. Like I've been lied to, and I'm in college and I'm getting the vocabulary now. Like I didn't even know. Like we're in a grocery store, all the cashiers are Black, all the customers are Black, the grocery stockers are Black. Like I'm confused. Like where have I been my whole life? Because why is it that like we're also shown by social media that like white people dominate all these spaces and are like flourishing, beautiful Black communities, you know, or there is so much wisdom and knowledge in Black communities, and why is that not shown? You know, it was like I knew from that moment on when I went to college, I was like, I'm leaving Washington State and I don't know if I'm ever gonna go back. You know, like I really don't know. It's very beautiful. It's home for me, but it's also like I realized that I knew so little about the world, so little about people, so little about how, you know, my whole goal when going to college was how do I get the knowledge to assist my community with all the like fucked up bullshit I see going on and the way that people are treated and criminalized and this whole prison system. How do I intervene and how do I interrupt that system? And I don't know if I want to do that from the inside or the outside. You know, I didn't know, but I was like, I need tools that I'm not equipped with. And me realizing that like there is worlds that are completely different like than the places that I grew up, and communities and cities and places made me realize that like I needed to heal myself. And in order to do that, I needed to be with Black people, you know, and I needed to be around people where I didn't always feel like I was watching my back because of the color of my skin or because I didn't fit into this mold or because of whatever, you know?
Yeah. Were you like sad or afraid at all, like when you got to West Baltimore? Because like that's an interesting place to land in Baltimore.
I don't think that I was ever afraid because violence and things of that nature happen everywhere. It's just different, you know? And also in Washington State, on the West Coast, people are a lot more passive aggressive. So if somebody's gonna stab you, they're gonna do it in the back. When you're like, as you smile and walk away, you know, it's gonna be like that versus here, if somebody doesn't like you, they're very upfront about it, which, you know, I'm a little taken back by, you know, in the beginning, but it's like, oh, I appreciate this, like, not doing this whole fluff thing where we're having a fake conversation about stuff that we don't care about, you know, like,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I think that I have always been intentional about wherever I am living and whatever space I'm occupying. It's important to build community. It's important to know your neighbors. It's important to say hello to people. It's important to look out for people that need looking out for, or that need a dollar or two. Like, it is important to do that. And so for me, I've always walked the world in a way of which I am like, I am here and I'm occupying space, and it's very important for me to give what I have and share what I have with all of those around me, you know, and that's the only way that I can live like my most true, authentic self, but also be aligned with who I see myself as and who I know myself to be.
That's amazing. Cam wants to know if you could talk us through some of the goals that you have for yourself over the next 10 years.
10 years.
Longevity.
Yeah. Well, I'm really, you know, like, this healing journey is one that, you know, healing is not just mental health. Mental health is a huge component, but also your mental health is directly correlated to your physical health and your emotional health. And so for me, like, all of those, you have to be working on all of those in some way all of the time to maintain like good health and to be at a good place. What food do you have access to? What food are you consuming? How, like, are you breathing like fresh air? Are you getting outside? Are you like touching a tree? You know, like, are you doing things that like are helping your oxygen flow? But in regards to my plans for the next 10 years, I'm gonna say graduate next year. I graduate next year. Hopefully if everything is aligned, you know, I will be done. And then I really want to work with young people. That's been my passion. I've been doing that since I was 20 years old. I want, like, young people are brilliant. They are the future. They're the smartest people I know. They're the most imaginative people. They're the most fearless people.
Yeah.
And they know what they want. They know what they need. And also we all as people know what healing and what success, even if we break out of this, like the structures of what society has told us is success, but what we want for ourselves. And for me, that comes with giving other people the tools, and like, not giving them the tools, assisting them with finding the tools that they already have within themselves and helping them process through things and just being a listening ear. So I want to do therapy with young people. I've done a lot of, I think it's really important to do advocacy work and case management. And if someone goes into the therapy office and they're there for mental health services, but they're struggling to pay rent, or there is another completely might seem unrelated issue going on with a different family member, or they're struggling in school, how are all those things connected, and how do we need to work on all of those things, you know, and have a holistic approach. So what I would love to do is have a business on the side where I'm incorporating like holistic practices with my mental health. You know, I think it's so important to do like things such as, like, you know, on the spiritual side, like Reiki, or how do you align with your body, or how do you also realize that like our minds and our minds hold this trauma and experiences that we've been through, but also our bodies do. Yeah. And physical ailments and like weight being held in one area of the body versus another, like all of those could be not saying that they are, right, but could be tied back to where we're holding trauma, or where we're holding pain, or where our body is storing things or working out of survival mode. And how do we, like, I want to continue to unpack and decolonize my own shit and be better and find this like walk in true alignment with my values and my beliefs. And I want to like assist other people with doing that. So
yeah, so many great things. And please tell us, you are going to be one of the mentors for the Healing Center Youth Leaders?
Yes, I am.
So they're going to get to work with you one-on-one.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to learn. Everybody's got something to teach, you know? And so it's also like those relationships are not, it's definitely like both are mentors, you know, like it might be mentor mentee, but it's like truly, if you're not learning from the other person, like, are you really teaching? You know?
Y'all heard her. Y'all heard her. Jamira has a great question. She said, was there ever a time where you thought that you were way in over your head with your work? And if so, can you share how you were able to push through that? That's an important question. Thank you, Jamira.
I feel I feel like I frequently have to check in with myself and reflect, because I also think in this line of work, it's easy, it's important, and it's easy to say yes. It's hard to say no. It's hard to set boundaries, and it's also, I feel like we're conditioned in so many different ways, but I too have been personally conditioned in my life where as a kid I couldn't say no. If I didn't want to take on another task that my mom needed help with, it would help the family run. So like sometimes I have to even check in with myself, and it's like, oh, I said yes to all of these things, but I don't have the capacity. And also I felt pressure to say yes, and maybe I didn't even want to. And then why did I do that? Why did I not just say no? And working on saying no and enforcing boundaries and learning what our boundaries are is so, so important. So yeah, I deal with that all of the time. I deal with that all the time. And that also is like, part of my anxiety and part of my like feeling like I need to please others. And that if I'm not showing up for others the way that they expect me to, am I even showing up? And that all is fake news, like that is fake news.
That's the real fake news. Man, I love it. I especially love that point about knowing your boundaries and setting those boundaries. Like that is so important, especially for young people. I love it. David says, can you tell us how you face your problems? For me, I play sports and try to keep my mind off of things that affect me. What do you do?
That also brings up a good point. So if I forget my point, remind me that I have another point.
I got you.
For me, I go outside. I love nature. And this quarantine or this lockdown, it's also been different for everyone. Some people are essential workers and can't stay inside. Some people don't have a safe home to stay inside at. Like it varies so much. But during this time, I've spent more time exploring new walking trails and being outside than I have in the 4 years of me living here. So during this last month and a half, I have spent more time outside walking in nature than I have in the 4.5 years that I have lived here. Like, to me, that is wild. But also that's been helping me stay afloat and feel like I'm in control, and breaking up staring at the computer and feeling like I just need to produce for other people, or I need to work. What else do I like to do? I love cooking. I love to eat, but I love to cook, and so it's those things for me where I can bring joy, and I'm also being creative, and I'm sharing my love. Like, I love cooking is one way to share your love, and I love cooking for other people. I love making other people happy and as excited about food as I am, because like I love to eat. I love food.
Wow, and we love spaghetti, just as well.
Good to know. But yeah, going back to the point that I wanted to make too, I write a lot. I journal. And I think it's so important because, it may not be accessible for everyone to get therapy, or for everyone to have somebody in this moment tomorrow to have somebody to talk to. But you can talk to yourself, and not like, I guess you could sit there and talk to yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you wanted to do. But being able to express what you're feeling in a structured way, whether that's through sports, whether that's through art, whether that is through journaling, is so, so important. Because the thing is that when we keep those, like all those feelings inside, we don't realize how not addressing and unpacking and realizing the impact that an experience has had on our life then shows up in your relationships in the future. It shows up in how you show up for yourself. It shows up in how you show up for everyone around you, and like what does that look like? And so that's something that, like, as a kid, my mom like joked about therapy. We only talked about therapy when it was like, you need to go to therapy, like you've reached a breaking point, and so it was like always this joke. So when I was like, oh, I don't want to go to therapy, and then realizing that, like, why have we told each other that it's not okay for us to talk about our feelings? Why have we made like our society and like everyone feel like you have to keep all of your problems to yourself because you're weak if you don't, or that that's something that everyone should be able to just deal with, and that's not true. That's and we shouldn't have to feel like that. And that all also goes back to, I'm like, for me, everything goes back to colonization and slavery. Everything. It's like
Everything.
it's like that again goes back to this idea, like, and this also like this idea that we have to work to produce, and that like we don't ever deserve breaks, or we don't ever deserve to say no. That is that is from slavery, because our ancestors literally couldn't stop and take breaks. They couldn't have a weekend off. They couldn't do all these things. And so they had to produce. And like we've somehow shaped that into like that being the ideal person, or like you're doing it if that's who you are. And that's not true. Like that is not true. And we need to find other ways. We need to break down that myth, because that also, like, it's just so false, and it really is detrimental to ourselves, because it makes us feel like we can't process what's going on and we can't share that. And no one is alone. Literally no one is going through their experiences alone. And like that's so unfortunate that I and so many people have been made to feel so isolated in our experiences and our traumas. Like so isolated. And like that alone, like that is so unhealthy and so unproductive to the like communal success of the community, for the success of everyone. And they say like if you really are healing and working on yourself, you're not only healing generations prior to you, you're healing future generations, because you're changing the way you're thinking about things, you're changing the way that you do things, and that has long lasting impacts.
You better say it, Miss Angie. You better say it. Taylor says, can you tell us how the work that you've done and some of the goals that you've accomplished have helped to shape who you are today?
Yeah, I think one of them was for sure moving to Baltimore and realizing how convenient it's become for the city to just criminalize people. And instead of, even in schools, instead of talking with somebody, we're already like, why is it that here in Baltimore was one of the first places that police in schools became like a thing? And also, where did police first start out? With slavery, with colonization, just like everything else. The first police were slave patrol.
Wow.
Why do we have that? Why is that something that like, and everybody to each their own and all the things, but it's also like, yeah, why do we feel like we need people in the community that are paid and make money and their success is tied to like capturing and breaking down the bad in people, or or getting people off the streets and out of the community? And so I think for me, realizing that I don't believe in prisons, realizing that I don't believe in.
You don't believe in prisons at all?
No, people should not.
Everybody should just be out.
We should have other forms of community accountability. We should ask people that have been hurt, what would it look like to repair this? What do you need to feel good about this? We should
the rapists too, and the molesters.
I mean, right. Okay. I think that there is a discussion, but I don't think that putting someone in jail and stripping them of all of their like societal worth is the way to do that. And I don't think disconnecting people and taking them away from their communities, taking them away from their family, taking them away from like their support systems is helping that at all. And so I don't have all the answers for like all of the world's problems and every issue that might come up, but I don't think that us policing people or us criminalizing people and carrying so much negativity and power and control, this feed for power and control, goes back to colonization, when the people thought that they could own us, and like this drive for power. And like also the US is so like they hype that up so bad, like you should want power in your community, power in your city, power in your family, and having power makes you more worthy, more deserving, and that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true
Yeah.
at all.
No, there's some interesting points. Yeah, we gotta have this little prison conversation too. Just have me a little prison for the people that hurt kids. Throw them in there.
Right. Or what would a conversation look like with everybody about what a good alternative would be? What does punishment look like? Because I'm not saying no one should ever get punished. I'm just saying the way that we've been told to punish comes from colonization and comes from slavery. And like, we shouldn't feel like we have to hold people accountable or punish people in that way. You know?
Yeah. No, you're right. I'm probably the wrong person to talk to because I'm gonna say cut it off. You did that to that little girl, cut it off.
But I mean, like, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's accountability. I don't know.
You know, you about to get me in trouble. I ain't messing with you. Bree says, oh, this is a great question about social media. Bree says, do you feel that social media is what brings mental health issues for the youth today? That's a great question.
That is a really good question. I think that it is heavily tied to our mental health today and to young people's lives today. Yes, because, you know, everything, back when I was a kid, it was like cyberbullying was like the thing online. You know, like people would talk, you know, it might be strangers or people that you talk to at high school that are like being mean to you, but it was like you went home and you could only get on your computer that was like set up, you know, on a desk, and it wasn't like you were walking around with a mobile computer everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas now everything is all over social media, and the way that you show you're cool, the way that you show that you have a life worth living, the way that you show what's going on and raise your popularity, raise your status, is by like showing all these false images and like and just showing everything on social media. Mm-hmm. Which really takes us out of the present moment because we're so caught up in feeding into this image, you know? And I even catch myself doing that when it's like, oh, I want to post this picture, but is it cute enough? Do I need a filter? It like, what will people think when they look at this? And then what is the caption that I have to add to it, you know, to really sell and reel it in? And then it's like, why am I doing that? Why do I care? Why do we have so many social media platforms where all we do is like talk about other people and judge other people? Like the fact on Instagram that you like people, like you like pictures, and then there are pictures that you just scroll past and you don't like. And so it's like, why is there even that feature? Like, why is it about getting the followers and getting all the likes versus really authentically being grounded in yourself and sharing and connecting with others based off that?
That would be too much like right, Miss Anne. You on fire. Isis says, how do you learn how to love yourself regardless of society's thoughts? Like, why do you feel like you have to be confined in a racial box and be unpacked? That's a deep question.
That is a deep question. Can you read it one more time?
Yeah, sure. How did you learn to love yourself regardless of society's thoughts? Why do you feel like you have to be confined to a racial box and be unpacked?
Okay, I feel like that's a two-part question, so I'll answer the first part first. I think it's an everyday process. I think that like there are days when I don't feel great about myself, you know, or that I do question like, oh, if I really love myself, would I be doing this? Or would I be bringing this negative energy into my life so much, or entertaining the negative energy? And I think that's all about, you know, realizing that like loving yourself isn't this like squeaky clean, happy-go-lucky, you know, like thing. It's also this thing about like, oh, I need to be called out by those that I love for when I hurt somebody or when I do something that's not nice. I also need to check myself when I am being petty about something and like, or am rude or am misunderstanding or jump to conclusions and judgments on other people before fully understanding things. And so like, I think that self-love journey is one that I constantly am like reflecting on and working on, because I also, I think that with everything we've been told, right? Like you're healed or your journey is done or your mental health is good if you look like this. And it's like, okay, like, well, if we're decolonizing our whole state of being, that might not be true. So what does that mean for me? And that's like this constant thing of like holding this mirror up to my face and like, who am I? And am I aligning with like my true values and morals and beliefs? And also like, where do they come from? how do I live the life that like I feel like I need to in order to be my true authentic self, to share my gifts with the world, to also like show compassion and like genuine love to others around me. Um, and yeah, I think this discussion around race is also such a different, like another one that's like so layered, because right, to be in a place where we weren't defined by the color of our skin or our sexuality or our physical ability and all these things would be like very nice, like sounds pleasant, sounds happy, but it's also like we are. And all of like many of my experiences as the person I am today have been shaped by those boxes that like I was either told to be in, or that I was put in, or that I found myself feeling more comfortable in, and so really I think that also goes just back to like this whole idea of like colonization and like defining people and deciding who is what. And like, yeah, I feel like I don't have the answer for that, but that is something that, I think we're not in a place in society where we can just be like, oh, let's not talk about race. It's like, no, we still have not addressed, unpacked, named, identified, talked about, all these things in society that have been done to people because of their race. Yeah. How this society is built off of our ancestors' labor, forced labor, like how our bodies have been deemed valuable for like the purposes of capitalism. But outside of that, we're not worth anything. We're like, yeah. So I don't know about that one.
No, because you gave it to us and it was amazing. We appreciate it. Cam has a question about your dad. She says, were you able to meet your dad? And if so, how was that experience? Like, did you get an apology or anything from him?
Yeah, so complicated, so traumatic.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that's a complicated. So I have been connected with so as a kid, my mom gave me my dad's name, his number, or not his number, his name, the cities that he lived in, his age, and like some other family members. And so I tried my whole entire life. Like I used to pass like Black men in the grocery store and be like, my father is here in Washington State, or used to be. Could that man be my father? Like, and so just like deep things of like really wanting that, because I also felt like I was like, yeah, like I feel so completely misunderstood. And it's because white people are raising me and not talking about race. It's because I don't have Black people guiding me and talking to me about the color of my skin and the way that like in which I walk in the world has to be different, but in which ways? And how do I do that in a safe way? So went to college, continued to look for my dad, and was like, I'm at a place where I'm okay not knowing, and like this yearning for something that has never happened is unhealthy. And so in therapy, my therapist was like, well, why don't you write a letter and just mail it? I did that, didn't hear anything. And then I was like, you know what? I just want to know my ancestral, like where my ancestors come from, like where's the land that they come from? Where in the world were they placed? All of these things. So I did a DNA test, 23andMe. It's like a DNA, like kind of like newer, younger, like ancestry thing. Did that. And I got connected with my first cousin on my dad's side. And wow. I messaged her immediately. And I was like, I found her on Instagram, found her on Facebook, all these things. And I was like, hey, is your uncle like this person? Because that person is my father. And she's like, oh, that is my uncle, but I've never heard of you before. And I was like, right, because maybe he hasn't told anyone in the family that I exist. She got in contact with her uncle. Basically, my uncle and I are very, very close now. My uncle and I talk all of the time. My dad just never told the family that I existed. I'm the oldest grandchild, the oldest child he has, all of these things. And so I have talked to him, but I've also been, healing and working on my growth and talking to my therapist and doing all these things. But it's also like, I realized that like, I wanted to be connected with my family, and that is done. And my relationship with my father is a complicated relationship that I don't know if it will ever be this ideal relationship that I envisioned my whole entire life, that I dreamt about, that I wanted, but realizing that like I have such a an authentic and genuine connection with my grandfather and with my uncle and with my cousin. And for that, I am like eternally grateful and never imagined in my life that I would be here. So yeah, I do know who my dad is, have talked to him a couple times. It's whatever. I'm grateful to be connected with the family, you know?
How old were you when all that happened?
Like this Christmas, I met my grandfather for the first time.
Shut up, Andy.
The second day of 2020, I talked to my father for the first time in my entire life on the phone.
Stop.
Yeah, he has 2 other kids. He has a wife, and he has not told his wife about my existence, but my uncle has shared with the whole entire family. So everyone but my father's wife knows about my existence. So it's complicated, it's messy, it's dirty, and like that's also why I have to continuously make sure I'm taking care of myself, because also now that like you're bringing in new people, strangers, but also family into the mix, it gets so complicated and murky that I have to make sure that I'm at a good place for myself and that I'm doing what I need to make sure that like I'm not letting these ideals of a relationship with my father shape everything that's happening in my life, you know?
Wow. Wow. You are so strong. This is so fresh. Like,
So fresh.
I'm thinking you about to say like 5 years ago, something like.
No, yeah. Yeah, literally
Wow.
my grandfather and my cousin the day after Christmas. It was like Christmas, I spent it with my white family, and they were like, you know, just like different, like they're white, all the things, I love them, but it was just like the conversations that we were having, you know, were completely different than when I got in the room with my grandfather, and like the first thing he said to me is like, you look just like your grandmother. It's like I've literally never heard that in my whole life, and I don't know these people, so I'm not gonna cry, but really I'm crying on the inside, you know. It's just like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. These sessions are never long enough. I swear, y'all.
I know. I'm like, is there gonna be a part 2? I was looking at after I'm watching everybody's, I'm like, I need a follow-up.
We're gonna definitely need a follow-up, because like this is just way too deep. It's way too good. We literally only have about 2 minutes. I want to at least get one last question in.
Yes, and I'll answer quick. I know I do a lot of talking, so.
No, you good. Look, you do what you gotta do. Elder, you make sure you get all the questions that I didn't get to, and we're going to email those to you if that's okay.
Yeah, I will definitely answer them.
Yeah, thank you, y'all. So light up the questions, y'all. We want to get them to Miss Andy. But this last question from Kamaya says, how did you let go of your mom's opinion and focus on your own?
Yeah.
That's deep. I know. She killed us.
Yeah. Realizing that my worth as a human isn't, and like my worth as a person isn't tied to like the colonized state of mind other people are in. That like it is on, you know, and I tell my mom this all the time. I'm like, you need to educate yourself. You have 2 Black children who both are not connected to their Black fathers, who both have different Black fathers. Like, you need to educate yourself. You need to know things. You need to be able to protect and advocate and like be a like mom, like when people need you. And the thing is that I have been shown, you know, like unfortunately my whole college experience really, my last 2 years of college really shaped how I felt. And honestly, like when I left college, or even my junior and senior year in college, I literally was like, oh, if I had to choose, which I feel like I am having to do, is choose between like my Black friends and community that I've built here in college and like my family. I choose these black people because I also I'm not calling my mom to talk to her about the white supremacists. I'm not calling my mom to say like, we have a police officer outside of our apartment for a whole year because someone put our address on a website and said that they were going to, you know, like just wild shit. But it's like the fact that all my friends are able to call their parents and their parents are driving up 2 hours to the university to drop off food, to like make sure that they're good, call and check in, calling them on their way home to and from campus, all of these things. And I don't have that because my family can't even fathom why I feel like if my university and the police in the city would really let white supremacists get to me or get to any of the Black students. And it's like, okay, you really don't understand race on so many levels that like it's hurtful for me to try and get this validation from you that like you're not capable of giving me right now, and I need to stop expecting from you. You know, I have to fill my bucket in other ways, and that can't always be from people that have hurt you or that don't understand your experiences and your trauma that you've been through. So it's like, I love my mom, and there are times when it's like, I don't want to talk about this, or that I just don't share because it's not worth it to engage in the conversation, or I know that I'm going in wanting this like ideal outcome that I can't guarantee, you know?
Yeah, no, that's real. That is real and so relatable on a lot of levels, man. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. I do have to ask you though, our famous question that everybody gets asked at the end.
Yes.
And that is, what is your jewel? If you had to leave us with something, what would you leave us with?
Yeah. So I would say, I wrote it down because I was like, I already know I'm gonna be asked this question and I want to have something and not just make it up. But yeah, that everyone's healing journey is so complicated, so layered, so messy, and can feel like it's stagnant, or that it's like going up and down, and like we were talking about, or you all were talking about yesterday, with like the relapse in progress and just like all of that. But really, like, healing yourself and working on your own healing journey not only heals your ancestors that have passed and those before you, but literally heals and helps protect the future to come. You know, and like it changes everything from how you express love and worth, and how you show love and worth to those around you. And like, it is so important to work on, because every single one of you, all of us deserve love. All of us deserve to be in healthy, happy relationships with ourselves and with those around us. You know, and so like, how do we unpack and understand all the complexities of ourselves, but not let those halt our forward progression and stop us from being where we want to be and who we really are?
Miss Andy, thank you a million times over. Arthur, I see your comment. I agree. He says she came ready to kill.
Yes. You know,
yes.
Light work.
Man, light. You definitely blessed our souls today, our minds, our hearts. Thank you so much for this conversation.
Yes.
I'm just so excited, and I'm so happy that you get to be one of the mentors. Our heartbeats are going to be so blessed to be able to learn from you and work with you, and to do this important work with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. And I'm so, you know, like, I do this because this is a passion of mine, but also like I learn every single day. I'm learning from you. I learn from you, and like also from the youth and their like the questions that they have, and what we're all thinking about, and where we're all at in the world, and how do we show up and just be better? Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? And how do we do that with like in support and in company of one another, but also like for ourselves? You know, like we can't, like, traumas and like shitty experiences happen to everyone, but we can't hold that anger at those other people, because that's blocking our own blessings and our own like things coming our way. And we have to be able to say like, yeah, that shit hurt, and I can now name it, but I'm not going to let that stop me from forward progression, you know?
Say that, Miss Andy. Say that. We're bringing you back for part 2. We have to. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we'll definitely be in touch with you.
Okay. Have a good one.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Y'all, how powerful was that, y'all? Miss Andy was absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy that you guys get to work with her on the Healing Center project. So that is, yo, fire, all fire. So definitely make sure that y'all get whatever questions that y'all want to ask. We're going to send our questions over to Miss Andy, and make sure that you guys get answers to those questions. Elder, be on top of that. Thank y'all so much, man, for so many wonderful questions. Like, y'all don't understand like how much you guys really help to shape these conversations. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Kamaya, it was so real and so authentic. Like I love it when people, just kind of come and just give it to us real, and just have a real conversation. It's such a blessing. Such a blessing. Yo, we got Miss Money Mo.
Hey,
Y'all already. Miss Money Mo. Hey, I like that hoodie.
thank you. Thank you. Special
Yeah,
design,
I
exclusive.
like that. What's up? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Awesome, 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 awesome. Man, Coach Johnson is knocking at the door.
Let him in.
Oh, all right, okay. Okay.
Let him in.
Yeah, good to see you today, man.
You too. How's it been going?
Man,
I'll be
great.
popping in and out.
Yeah, amazing, amazing, amazing. Jada did a fire presentation earlier. That was amazing. She did a great job. Shout out to Jada. And then Miss Andy, like she just killed it, yo. It's been a banger at the banger at the banger at the banger. So, yo, yeah, it's been amazing.
Hey, Shalom.
Coach Johnson,
Good morning. Good morning.
like that shirt, yo, rocking the My Mayor Must. Shout out to everybody that helped put together that event, y'all, the My Mayor Must event. That was the first time ever that young people called the mayoral candidates to the table to talk about issues impacting young people. So if anybody's on here that was a part of that, shout out to you.
Absolutely. Y'all did real good.
You brought all the ghetto with you today, didn't you?
It be crouchy on my sessions, as they like to say. It be crouchy, so
It be ghetto when you say it be ghetto. Hey, Mr. Creativity.
Say hello to the people, James.
Man, you know he too cool.
Hi.
Y'all know he too cool. Them 20. Yeah, what's up?
Oh my God.
Them 2020 people, they think they get cute, man. Class of 2020 getting real cute.
Absolutely. Listen, and it shouldn't be any other way. Absolutely get cute. One of y'all, James, turn your volume down for the session. Thank you, honey. Love
Y'all
it.
see my sis in the background. That's right. That's Miss Gay Fuh. That's right. She run the top floor at Matthew A. Henson Elementary. Y'all need to know her. She runs it.
Absolutely. Seen that in the flesh. Absolutely. All right, y'all ready?
Sure, let's go.
All right, y'all. We're gonna talk about supportive networks today, and what that looks like for everybody on the session, and then what kind of qualities make up a supportive network. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. Maybe. All right, here we go. Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? What opportunity she talking about? What's Ken talking about? She said, hey, Miss Morgan, tell us about your opportunity. You don't know? Okay, well, onward we go. Here we go, I think. Okay, so we starting off with a question, y'all, because they're fun. If you were left on a deserted island with either your worst enemy or no one, which one would you choose and why? I mean, I could start, or if one of y'all are ready, y'all can absolutely start. You want to start, James?
I want to start.
Yeah. No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, James, then Shalaka. Just because I saw James's hand first. James, go ahead, and then Shalaka, you go.
I say my worst enemy because I feel as though, well, I don't have a worst enemy. I don't have enemies at all. Enemies at all. But I feel as though like the person that doesn't like me and I doesn't like them, we came to an agreement. I think that we can work together if we really wanted to, but we just choose not to because of personal differences. So yeah.
I've been thinking about this question all morning. I don't even know. Like, that's a good question because I don't have a worst enemy. I have a person that I dislike very much kindly, but it's like I don't have a problem I don't have a problem being alone. So I would definitely say probably my worst enemy because that'll probably give us a time to talk about talk to each other about why we don't like each other and give us time to reconnect, rekindle our friendship, I guess.
Miss Joni?
Yeah, I don't know who my worst enemy is. I don't think I have any enemies, but if I did, that person probably be irritating me. So I'm just gonna pick nobody. Like I'm kind of naturally like a little loner anyway. So like, yeah, nah, I don't need nobody getting on my nerves.
Okay, thank y'all for
But
sharing.
you realize you're gonna be that by yourself for like a long period of time.
She don't
Like,
care.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't need nobody getting on my nerves. Probably lazy, won't get nothing done. I gotta do it for them. Mm-mm.
all right.
All right. So I'm gonna read people's responses. I'm gonna give my response, and then Shala, they want to hear about your opportunity yesterday, your coaches connect. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to talk about that as well. All right. So Jada said, "My enemy, so we can work it out because it's about growth." Cam said we can get an understanding and it will allow us to grow. And Keon agreed with that. And he said, I would probably go insane if I was alone for too long. And then Stanka said, I'll be alone. I got my music. Cam said, being alone can help with self-reflection and evaluation though. And Marcus said, I say no one. Thank y'all for sharing y'all responses. Y'all can still keep sharing them. So my perspective is kind of interesting, I think, because one, if I'm on a deserted island, I'm getting off the island. I mean, for a little while, I'm gonna be okay because I like to be away, but I don't want to be like alone on a deserted island for the rest of my life. But if I had to pick, I would pick my worst enemy because like y'all know how like villains are in like movies or books or something, like they appear to be evil and they appear to be a certain way for a certain reason. But they're not always evil. They're not always like an enemy. Like there's always like some layers to it. There's always like reasoning for whatever they're doing. And you know, sometimes we get to see what that reasoning is, and sometimes we don't, depending on whatever like show or movie or book what we're reading. So if I have a worst enemy out there, I would pick them because I would want to understand them, and I would want to understand like what's the issue. Can we talk about it? What's going on in your life? What can I do? What can you do? And we can just kind of talk it out. So I would pick my worst enemy. So yeah, y'all, thank you for participating. Shalal, do you want to talk about your opportunity? I'll stop sharing so they can see your face.
Yeah, it was definitely dope night yesterday. I joined the call around like 3, and like as soon as I joined the call, it was like 163 people there, tops, like 100 and some odd people there, and it was all the NBA, and I was the youngest one there out of Baltimore. So I was like, it was a different horizon for me. I definitely got to talk with the head coach of the Atlanta Hawks, Lloyd Pierce, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's his name. Some college coaches as well. I got some notes, took some notes down from them. It was different because they was talking about more of the NBA level, and I'm like now as I'm transferring from high school to the college level, so I was picking up like certain like codes from them, language, certain language they use and stuff. So it was like I wouldn't say tough, but it was like to the point where like if you know basketball, like you understand what he was talking about because everything he was talking about was related around basketball, language, responsibility for your own. Because like they was talking about when they let their players like go out of state and stuff, but like that players like they won't call that players and tell them when to come back home to come to training camp. Like they automatically know. Like it's just installed in that head that they come back around September, right after Labor Day. Like so certain things like that, and they use certain languages around them. So it was pretty good. I had a good time yesterday.
Yes, well, thank you for sharing about your opportunity. Everybody is excited for you and supporting you. So, yeah, thank you for talking about it. Let's good,
Thank you.
Yeah, man, we all here. All right, y'all. While I'm switching slides, Amaya said, "Hey, Lamar." And hey, Kamaya. Amaya said, "No one, because my worst enemy is not the type to talk nothing out. So we would just cut the island down by the middle and I'll still be by myself." Kamaya said, "I don't think that some people do things on purpose all the time. And sometimes I think I would want to try and help figure things out with them." Yeah, Kamaya, I understand that too. And Stinka was just saying like congratulations, and Cam was asking you how you felt, Shalal, about your opportunity yesterday, and Marcus said good job. So yeah, y'all, let's hop right on in. So what is a supportive network? Generally speaking, is the people and the resources in your life and around you that help you achieve your personal and your professional goals. And it may be like help you achieve other things too, but this is like a general sense. So the type of support that you may experience are emotional, instrumental, and informational. So types of it, like emotional support is like, when you're going through like a crisis, it's about like a mind kind of thing, and it's relating to your emotions. So like, let's say you're feeling sad, or you're feeling angry, or you're feeling happy, or you're feeling, whatever emotion that you may be feeling, the people in your emotional support network will support you in that way. So if you're, sad and you want to like make a call to somebody, they're the person that can kind of like help you to talk yourself into a happier mood, or they're the person that can kind of, just move you out of maybe, a sad or a negative emotion space. And they can also encourage those positive emotions that you're already experiencing. The instrumental support network members, they're like the physical like support. So like if you need something, like let's say you need like, I don't know, like you need some, or you need or want some food or something, they will bring you the food, or they would make sure that you get the food. Let's say you want something new, or you need something, like let's say you need like a laptop so that you can do your work or whatever, they'll make a way to make sure that you get the laptop. It's not always monetary. I just happen to say two monetary examples, but like they focus on that physical, like giving you like an item or giving you a certain thing that you need. And then you have like the informational support, and according to like some of the background of that's where like that mentoring kind of falls under, and that's where like people in your network that give you information and give you knowledge and support your knowledge come from. So we have like the emotional support, the instrumental support, and the informational support. So what are qualities of a supportive person? So they're generally a good listener, because they would want to know what's kind of going on with you and want to know, like, you know, all the details and everything about that so they can best support you. And they're like knowledge seekers, so they're always trying to learn, but mainly they're trying to learn like about you and how you move and how you work and how you talk and how you do things. That way, again, they're in better position to support you. They may be a nurturer, just kind of making you feel at ease, making you feel comfortable, making you feel, you know, that you have a safe space to kind of express your needs, express what you want, express your goals, express whatever you need to express. Very giving, whether that may be in form like a physical form or just like time, giving their time. And then this last one like doesn't come to play. People in your supportive network are not supposed to be people that are like yes men, or that always think that like they check you when it's time to check you. If they, you know, think that you're doing something wrong, or maybe you could have done something another way. So they're generally they're not playing with you either. They may be all those things above, but they're not playing with you either. Shalal and James, what are qualities of a supportive person in your opinion? Something that's not up here, or you can talk more about something that's already up here.
Go first. I do want to talk about something that's on here, but then I want to talk about something that's not on here as well. I think it was on the last slide, if I'm not mistaken. But someone that's there for you. Can you go to the last slide? Okay, well, it is on that side then. Somebody that's there for you, like emotionally, when you like not feeling well, like when you're down or like depressed and sad, like someone that is emotionally, that's one of like the key features for me has been like a support system. Yeah, I think a support network. I'm sorry, that's support system, support network. I would say like someone that's there for you, not just physically, but like emotionally as well. Just to have someone you can talk to, and I would say not for like okay for teenagers like me and James, a good support network will probably be someone around our age. Not saying that older adults cannot be our support network, but we can connect with someone that's closer to our age than like 25 and 30.
Um, but I could say a support network. One that really helps me the most is emotional support. Cause I need to have like support to where it's like I'm able to like if I'm going through a rough time and I need that pep talk kind of to like keep me going or keep me motivated or let me know that I can still do it even when I feel like I can't. Like Miss Mo, Miss Joni, all my friends, like they're emotional support for me because like I can go to y'all and talk to y'all about like anything I have going on, like my family. Like I just need like this emotional support to help me like get me through like certain steps. And I say good qualities of a supportive person is like you gotta be able to connect with me. Well, you don't well, not really. You don't have to be able to connect with me, but you have to like get the point of view that I'm coming from. Because I don't want to be like the one like I don't want your opinion to be one sided for mine and I'm trying to figure out like what am I wrong? Like I want to be able to like have a person who like understands where I'm coming from and understands what I need and understand like the direction that I'm going and is it the right direction or wrong direction? You know what I'm saying? So, and then also I need a good listener because I talk a lot. So like a person that actually listens to what I'm saying and taking into consideration, I find like very supportive. So,
Can I piggyback off what James said this morning? Um, Another good quality that's not on there is energy. Like if you guys' energy is not the same, it's like a rare 1 out of 10% chance that you guys are even going to connect, even on any type of level at all, even a friendship level, anything. Because if we don't have energy and mindset, like we don't have the same energy and mindset, then we ain't gonna get nothing done. Because I can be saying one thing from professional level, like I wanna do this, and I don't feel like I can do it. Speaking of business wise, and then this other person will be like, well, the business life isn't for you anyway. So like, if your energy or the mindset is not the same, then yeah, that's not a good one. So energy would be a good quality of support network.
Thank y'all for talking about things that are already there and then adding your own. I especially like that energy one. I think that energy one definitely needs to be a quality of a supportive person. Everybody tuning in right now, and then Miss Joni, what are qualities of a supportive person? Either you can talk again, you can talk about ones that are already here, or you can add ones that you feel are missing.
Yeah, so the one I would add is one that I think is like completely underrated, and that is the person that's going to tell you the truth regardless of your feelings about the truth. Um, Not somebody that's just going to be cruel and try to make you feel bad and just put you down, but somebody that is willing to tell you those hard things that other people that don't care about you as much might creep around. I think too many times people are so concerned with whether or not it's going to hurt your feelings or how you're going to feel about it, and not really caring about you as a whole person. Like, how is it going to impact your future, or how is it going to impact whatever situation? An example would be if one of your friends is telling you that they want to go to college, but yet they haven't taken that one college test. They haven't applied to not one college. They haven't done any research. They aren't doing the things that a potential college student would do. And some so-called friends are just going to sit back like, oh yeah, you're doing great. Oh yeah, you're going to college? Yeah, okay. And like not saying anything, versus those real friends are going to say, look, you might not like me after this, but you know what? I love you enough to tell you, you ain't doing what you need to do. How can I help you? What type of support can I offer, or what can I do to, help get this thing on the road? Because if you're saying that this is what you want to do, you got to start doing it now. So definitely that person is underrated. The person that's going to tell you the truth and care more about you than just the feelings in the moment.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that. I like that addition to that list. So thank y'all for all sharing. So we're just gonna ask like general questions and talk about like what our supportive networks look like, who kind of makes up those networks, and kind of what to do if you feel like you don't have one, or once you have one. So these questions again are for everybody. So just make sure that y'all are answering as well. So what does your supportive network look like? You can say names if you want to, or you can just, however you want to answer this question is absolutely fine. James, go ahead and start us off.
So my supportive network looks like, it's very much like, it's simple because like it's mostly like family and friends. Like I have Ms. Mo, Miss Joni, Shalaz, Stanka, Elder, Jada, basically mostly everywhere at HeartSmiles. Like also have my mom, my dad, my siblings. Like no, that's really about it. And then also have my other friends outside of HeartSmiles that are really supportive, and they encourage me to keep going, but they also like check me when I need to get things done. And like if I'm procrastinating no things, they like hold me accountable for it, as do some people at HeartSmiles do too. So like my supportive network looks like, basically it's just the matter of accountability and strong support. So like they hold me up even though I feel like I'm falling down. So yeah.
Can you stop moving your head? You like a bobblehead. Just moving your head. She just moving it. Like, can you stop, please? um, um, see, made me forget my train of thought. Yeah, supportive network. My supportive network. It's pretty good. I have family, friends. My family. I would say my dad. Yeah, my dad and my aunt. My dad. Yeah, that'd be my dad, my aunt, my grandfather, my mom. Yeah, that'd be my supportive network a lot. And then I have my friends at Heart Smiles, Elder, Sticker Buzz, Jada, James. Um, yeah, I have my people in Heart Smiles, and then I have my like three people outside of Heart Smiles, and they'll probably be like Eric, and Sean. And then like as far as the mentors and HeartSmiles, I think all of them, like all of them are, and each one of them hold each one of them hold me accountable. And back to when Miss Joni was talking about how she was saying someone that like keep it like real with you and like tell you the truth. That'd be Miss Mo. Even though she might not look like that type of person, but that'd be her. Like she'll call you 10 o'clock at night and be like, "So what did you do today?" And then I'd be like, I ain't do this," and then she'll cuss me out. But then she'll say she love me at the end, but it still be to the point where she holds me accountable. And I'd be like, why she say that to me though? Like she hurt my feelings a little bit. But then I look at it and be like, man, maybe I really should do fill that application out. Like I really should really do that. So like I would say Miss Mo is like one of those, like, yeah, I think, yeah, Miss Mo probably like the strongest one on my team. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Thank y'all both for sharing. Ms. Joni said her supportive network is all the heartbeats who help each other. I love that. Definitely agree with that. And as far as what my supportive network looks like, definitely family. Definitely family, hands down. Definitely just friends. I have like just I don't know. I have like a very few like close friends, but they're absolutely just part of my team, part of my supportive network. And they're all just well-rounded like people. So I have those people. And then like of course my heartbeats. Y'all are y'all is something else. Let me tell you, y'all is something else, but definitely supportive. Even when y'all be cutting me up, y'all are supportive. And just, also just pushing me to be a better person every day. So whether you realize that you're being like, whether you're being explicitly supportive or whether you're just being you and being there. So that's including like Shalon and James in my heartbeat network, definitely including Miss Joni in my like adult network. But yeah, that's what mine kind of looks like. Everybody around me really is part of my supportive network. If you see them around me, most of the time they're supportive people because I try not to keep not non-supportive people around me. So yeah. Amaya said her support system is her boy best friend, Kat, my sisters, my bun, my HeartSmiles mentors, my my older brother at times, my friend Kay, and my cousin. Bun Bun is somebody. Listen, that's somebody important to her. That's who Bun Bun is. Not what's a Bun Bun. Miss Johnny, stop playing her. All right, y'all. How did you build your supportive network?
I'll go first. I build my supporters like before I meet people. I kind of like I don't get like too attached. I kind of get the feel out first. Like I go out there, how see how people act, like see how they support others, and then I determine on how that like I can support them or they can support me. If you get what I'm saying. So like, so I built my supportive network off of like basically just like looking at how everything goes, the rundown, the hip hop, the hill too, all that good stuff. Like when I came to HeartSmiles, it's like I was basically getting the feel for everyone to see how everything worked and how like other people supported other people. And that's when I chose who I was like gonna connect with the most because of how they support others and how they carry themselves basically. So yeah.
Yeah, James basically took the words out of my mouth. I'm just saying, for me, basically for me, I'm a supportive person as any way but myself. Like I support anybody. Like if you need support, I support you. But like for me, how I figure it out is I support everybody, and then the people that I connect with the most, and I see that like really take heed in like what I'm doing because you posting somebody's flyer and like you just okay, how I'm gonna say how Miss Joni be doing. Like you post a picture on Instagram and you get that like, but if you get like 10 likes and not one of them likes ain't buying nothing, then they really ain't supporting you. You feel me? So if I'm posting your flyer, say for instance, I'm posting KR Smoothies flyer, but I ain't buying those smoothies, I ain't really supporting nothing. I'm just posting a flyer. So I say for people that like post my stuff, but also like take heed and ask me, do I need anything? Is everything going so well? Like, do I need any help? Anything like that? So that's how I find my support system.
Thank you all for sharing. Yeah, thank you for sharing how you build the networks. Miss Joni. Well, no, I'm gonna read Jordan's and then I'm gonna give you an opportunity to answer as well. Jordan said, my supportive network consists of my family and friends, which would be HeartSmiles social media friends and real life friends. They point me out when I'm wrong and they encourage me to follow my passion. Thank you, Jordan, for sharing that. Love that. Miss Joni.
Yeah, I would say that definitely for this, I've been extremely blessed for my support system to really just come in an organic way. So like me being me authentically and just doing what I do from a good place really did allow just other good people to be attracted to the situation that we're doing, adults as well as kids. So I'm definitely blessed to have good people around who really care and not looking for accolades or praise, but really just looking to do the real work.
Thank you for that. As far as how do I build my supportive network, I kind of have an answer similar to Ms. Joni's. I feel like people are just kind of here and have come to me. So I was born, I feel like, into a supportive network. And by that, I mean like with my family. I was born kind of into that. And then as far as people that are not like related to me by blood, whatever that may be, whatever that may mean to people. But for those who are not related to me by blood, like it just happened. As far as like the people that are still close to me, like I feel like you meet so many people in your life, you come in contact with so many different personalities, so many different people in your life, and people are definitely in your life for a time period, especially like in a school setting. Like some people are just there, and sometimes you're just there for other people in terms of like you may have the same classes together or you just see each other every day, so it's just easier to kind of like be with one another and to support one another. But I find that the people that are with me like now, especially like living in different states or just kind of not as easily like accessible, but we still choose to be accessible, we still choose to communicate with one another. It just happened, and it's just like a matter of the love that we have for one another. So that's how mine is in place. Maya said, y'all HeartSmiles mentors really are really like my only adult support system besides my big head brother at times. I'm glad that we can provide that for you, Amaya, and your big head brother too. Very grateful for him too. All right, y'all. So what do you recommend that people do if they feel like they don't have a supportive network or a supportive person in their life?
Okay, well, I would say, can you repeat the question again so I can hear it again? Can you repeat the question? Oh, I wasn't looking at that. I'm sorry. See, what do you recommend people do? They feel like they don't have support network. Okay. I mean, if you feel like you don't have a supportive network, I say you need to do also some self-reflect on yourself as well. Cause maybe it's not them, maybe it's you. Maybe you're not doing something that maybe you're not doing something that you're supposed to, like, or you're not up to par with yourself, like with your inner self, for you even to have a support system. I would definitely say check yourself first. And if you feel as though yourself is okay, like if you feel as though you're in a right state of mind to have a support system and they're not there for you, then you need to talk it out with them just to see where their head is and what's going on and what could be stronger and what's the weakest right now, why is it so weak, and just like that. So I would say my two things would be check yourself and talk to each other. Communication.
Okay, so um, for people that feel like they don't have a support system, it can be mentally, like you physically can have a support system, but you mentally don't feel it within yourself because of the things that you're going through or self doubt. Because it's been a point in time where like I had support systems and support networks, but I didn't like feel it in my mind or like it. Basically, I didn't feel it within me because I had self doubts about what I was doing. That I didn't believe that other people was going to support what I was doing because I didn't even support what I was doing. If you get what I'm saying. So like for people that's like they feel like they don't have a support system, it's all about like if you can support your like if you have a time way that you can support yourself, you can. Like supporting yourself is the like you have to support yourself before even somebody else supports you because you have to know within yourself that what you're doing is for you and you only and it's basically benefiting you. So like for people that's like that feel like they don't have it, it's all about the mental state of like I know that I can support myself if I don't have it. If I feel like I don't have it, that's different because you may feel like you don't have it, but you possibly do have it, but you just have to, like Shalon said, do a self evaluation and like go through like your own mindset and what you're going through to get to the point where like you accept the people that's supporting you. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So just pausing, just a follow up for you both. So, um, if you have you felt like have you been in that mindset like where you physically had people around you, you physically had your support system, but you just couldn't see it? And if you did have those moments, how were you able to bring yourself out to actually be able to see those networks?
Yeah, it's been a few times where I feel like I didn't have the support system, but I actually did. Like when it came to business or even schoolwork, like I feel like I didn't have the support system to like even get myself through it. But at the same time, I did have it. I just wasn't using my resources wisely, and I felt like within myself I didn't have it. So like how I got out of that was like I had to like actually have a conversation with the people that were actually supporting me, and I didn't see it because I had to really sit down and evaluate myself and like talk to them and like explain to them how I feel, and they also give like their feelings on like how they've been supporting me, but like I haven't been accepting the support because I feel as though I don't have it. So like I got through that just by like having a genuine conversation with that person and letting them know like how I feel and my genuine feelings, and then how they can help me get out of that stage of me feeling like I don't have the support that I need.
I I agree with James. Definitely just said having a talk with people. That's something I need to work on myself is talking to people about my emotions and feelings because I don't have real bad feelings doing that. But I would say yeah, talking like basically just talking it out, just to see what's up. Like you gotta see, you basically just gotta talk it out, and like 'cause if you feel like you don't have them, but not like for me, like I have it, and my support system is good. I just gotta talk. Like I don't really talk to people. Like people, they be asking me, do I need stuff, and I be like, I'm fine, I'm straight, I'm good. Like, cause I always had the mentality of just like go get it myself and don't worry about nobody else. Like but I just gotta learn how to like not have that anymore because I don't know. Just gotta stop talking out basically.
Thank you. Jordan said, I just don't go up to people, and this I think is from the previous question, but I don't just go up to people. Usually they go up to me, but I would say a majority of my friends I met through starting the conversation. With HeartSmiles, my mom brought me into this amazing group. Jordan, your mom brought me into this amazing group too. I can talk about that if you want, but yeah, Miss Trina is a real one. And so thank you, Jordan, for sharing that. And I can relate with that too. Like I'm not well, it depends. I think I'm a mix more. I can go up to people, but normally not. Hey Kamaya, we see you, honey. Thank you so much for letting us know where you at. But we see you and thank you for tuning in. Marcus says HeartSmiles is my support system. Y'all all I got. We love you, Marcus. Definitely have a beautiful spirit and soul, Jordan. Amaya, I think she said, I think you need to see who the heck your friends are because like you're giving them time and they don't give you your time back when you need it. They are not your friends. Yeah. Yeah, and so that's also kind of another question that we can get into about like it being like a two-way street and not a one-way street. But yeah, thank you for sharing that, Amaya. And she said that she Lamar agrees. Get that money, Cam. And Amaya said, yes, I agree with Shalal people who have their own problems. And if you see that their behavior has changed, you do have to ask questions and see what's going on, but they've never given you theirs. And then Keon said, I guess you can be your own support. So yeah, I'm gonna pause right there. That way I can read the rest of them. But Miss Joni, what do you recommend for people do if they don't feel like they have a supportive network?
Yeah, so like a few specific things I would say is you can look and determine like what do you want that support network to even look like and then make yourself a part of those communities. So if there are certain people that you are looking up to or certain people that you see and you think that that's the type of supportive network that you need, do things to kind of ease your way into that community and start building authentic relationships. Another way that I don't think that we talk about enough is like reading books. Like, and I know that it sounds crazy, but trust and trust and trust. If you can connect with somebody who is doing something that you want to do or just connects with you in whatever type of way, reading that person's book or doing something equivalent to that will make you feel like you're being connected or like you're being mentored or guided by that person. That was one big thing that I picked up when I first started my for-profit business doing leadership training and consulting, because I didn't have anybody to walk me through that process. I didn't have a support system to, be there for me while I got that up and running. And a big part of how I learned and a big part of that mentorship really was just through books and learning from other people through the pieces that they've read and finding their videos and watching their videos and stuff like that. So those would definitely be two things that I would say that you could actually like do to build up a support network if you are feeling like you don't have one.
Thanks, Ms. Joni. And then I can answer as well. I don't want to repeat anything that was already said, but I think I'll just say I think that everybody has at least like one other person outside of themselves that is in place to support them. Sometimes we're just not able to see it. And sometimes, maybe we haven't necessarily met that person either yet. But I am I have very strong beliefs that everybody has at least one person outside of themselves that supports them. So I'll just kind of say that part. So this is not the question that's up there, but as far as like supportive networks, is it their responsibility to only support you, or are you held responsible for also being in position to support them? So what I'm saying is it a one-way street? Like, is your supportive network only responsible for supporting you? And are you responsible for supporting your supportive network? Don't look at me like that, Shalon. Answer the question.
No, I'm looking at Miss Jody because her facial expressions over here got me dead. Like she like her facial expressions just be having me done. I think this basically ties into what I was saying earlier about the two-way street, about like you can support somebody by just posting a flyer, but like, are you really like supporting them by like buying a product or buying into that business? So I would say it's a two-way street. It ain't no one-way streets over here. Like, no, I can't just post Jane. Never mind, because I did it before. I said I can't just post Jane's flyer and not get a flyer back. But yeah, so yeah, it's a two-way street.
Of course it's a two-way street. Like, what you think this is? Like this is it's a two-way street. I can't. That's like me. Like that's like us going to the store, right? And I get you a bag of chips, and I'm like, yeah. And it's like, all right, I got you. The next time we go to the store, I'm like, all right, sure, bet. We go to the store next week, and you tell me no. I'm like, I supported your habit of eating chips, but when you can't support my habit. Like I'm just trying to like, where's like the balance between it? Like I can't support you, and you cannot support me. That's like me supporting somebody's business, or like me buying something for somebody, and they don't even support my business. It's an unbalance. Like it has to be like an equal type thing. Like I support you, you support me. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Like that's the way it is. Yeah.
Okay. Thank y'all for sharing, especially the chip example. Miss Joni, is it a two-way street or a one-way street?
I mean, I would say most times it's a two-way street, but it can definitely be situational. Like for me, too many kids be faking, they be bluffing about their business. So no, I'm not about to promote it or support it or talk about it or nothing. I'm gonna act like it don't exist the same way you do when you go a whole week or two without even posting or talking about your business. So like for me, it's like when I see somebody helping themselves, then I'm inspired to help because I see them working, I see them grinding, I see them pushing through, even though they're not getting recognition or attention or even making any money, but they still just grinding. That inspires me to want to get involved. And like, if you notice, like even though I promote youth entrepreneurship, I very rarely post half of these business because they playing.
Yeah. I mean, I may have noticed that before. that may have crossed my mind. It's fine. But no, I get it.
Well, that's against Miss Jody. Everybody be playing because she barely posts anybody.
You're right. You're right. Yo, you're right. I post chaos movies because she be on her game all the time. And it's interesting because y'all might not know, but I've known Chaos Smoothies for a few years now. And one thing I appreciate about her is that like she never bluffed. She never said, "Oh, I'm coming to HeartSmiles," and didn't show up. She always knew about HeartSmiles, but she wasn't necessarily connected, But every time I seen her at an event, I buy a couple smoothies, do whatever. We talk, support each other, but we wasn't really connected. We really just started being connected like recently, and since then she's been showing up, and I've been seeing even more her work ethic that I saw even from afar. So I will definitely post her stuff. Ma is another one. Like I just met that dude, but it ain't a day that I met him that I haven't seen him like really grinding, really working. I think I might have posted James stuff, Mr. Creativity, even though he be on and off. One time. And Coach Johnson, I posted your stuff plenty of times. Yep. My whole story used to be nothing but his practices. Like, so, but yeah,
I'm just saying these other little businesses in HeartSmiles.
No, you're right. These other little,
I ain't see them get posted out one time.
No, and they probably won't ever get posted one time.
I'm trying to figure out where you gonna post mine.
You ain't working there.
First of all, you ain't been in the drive-through window and I don't know how long.
Oh, you'll see why later. Surprise.
Bye. I can't with y'all.
Okay. All right, y'all. So just thinking, like, I guess we already kind of talked about this, but anything that you want to add about, like, how do you recommend that others build their supportive networks, and do you find it necessary for everybody to have supportive people in their life? Don't all jump at once now. It's fine. Just don't all jump at once. Shala, answer the question.
Oh my gosh. Can you repeat the question one time? Because I'm trying to think about it. Like, that's why I didn't go first. I'm trying to think. So can you repeat it again?
Do you want me to tell these people why why you do not have an answer to this question? It's fine. I said, how do you recommend to others that they build their networks? And do you think that it's necessary for people to have supportive people in their life?
Okay, I feel like that's a two question. That's two questions. I'm gonna answer the first one. Social. See, I want to say social media is a good one for like supportive networks, but we was just on success sessions like at like 10, 11, and we was talking about social media, and social media not even that good. So I can't even sit back and be a hypocrite and say social media is good when we just like to said it wasn't. So I don't really know. I mean, look, social media, bro. Like, social media is I don't know. Like, I'm gonna go to the second question, and then I'm gonna go to the second question first, and then go to the first question, because like I know what I want to say, but like, because I'm trying to say like social media is a good way to find your supportive system, but it's like social media can also show how fake your friends be. You feel me? So it's like I don't know. Like, I don't know. So I would say social media, but also, just physical support. Like us all, say for instance, all of us come to HeartSmiles, and we all send everybody. We got this big group chat of HeartSmiles, and we send everybody. We send the group chat our flyer, and we'll see how many people post our flyers. Like, right, like everyone, like ain't nobody. It's gonna be like at least 4 of them out of the 4 out of the 60 we got. So yeah, I would say physical and like social media. I'm sorry, Mr. Morgan. Can you repeat the second question again? Sorry. Look.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. We ran out of time anyway, James. Go ahead and answer the question that Shalon just answered. It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
I think it's very important. So I think social media is a good way, but it's also like, so sometimes like social media can get played out. So like I think like connecting with people, well not right now, but like connecting with people face to face, like getting the chance to like explain your business. Because sometimes things over social media, it don't come across how you want it to. So like I think like talking to people face to face, well not right now, just not right now, but talking to people like face to face and like giving them the chance to like hear what you have to offer within your business and like within yourself personally, and like give them a chance to like actually like see what you don't see in yourself. Like so people see power, like some people see power in you. That the fact that you just have to talk to them. Like having a simple conversation is not hard. It's not. People just don't want to have it nowadays because they feel as though, oh, if I post this on social media, everybody be on it. No, that's not how this game works. You have to actually go out there and like strive and like get what you need done and connect with people. Just posting a flyer really not going to do you no justice. Speaking from experience, it's not going to do anything. I'm just saying,
But don't you make flyers though?
exactly.
I mean, if you make the flyers and posting the flyer don't do anything, what's the point of you making the flyers?
All right. Okay, y'all. I mean, you can respond, James, real quick if you want to, but we almost done.
Oh well, it is something like because look, I'm gonna give you an example. My selfie that I posted, I got over 100 likes. As soon as I posted a flyer for my business, only 28 likes. Exactly.
That's how you know what
exactly.
That's how you know
Exactly. Like it does. Like people don't support you how you think they support you. Just because they say they're your friends, it doesn't mean they're going to support you. So
you got that. You right. You all right. You know what? That's right. That is right. Because I post a picture on Instagram and I got like 168 likes and like 32 comments. But then when I posted my 1 year anniversary of my business, I got 32 likes. 32 likes with 2,292 followers and 32 of y'all liked it. 32. Oh, okay.
Not the exact number. Not the exact number of followers. Y'all just be in position to support each other, selfies and businesses as alike. I'm gonna read Amaya's response and Ken's response real quick, and we're gonna wrap this up before Miss Joni be mad because I'm overtime. Like for me, Amaya said, like for me, I like seeing my friends help other people, and I like helping other people. So it's not just you can only help me and I can only help y'all. Like, no, absolutely. I get it. As far as like when you feel like you're helping somebody and they just like not even like giving anything to you. I can understand that. Amaya launching her poetry page tomorrow, y'all. Hold her accountable. She not? Okay. Apparently she's not. And Cam, I want to make sure I read. Oh, Cam said, talk to people and you never know who will support you, even if they're a stranger. Absolutely, Cam. Thank you for typing it again because I didn't even. It's not even coming up on my thing. So thank you for that, y'all jewels, and we gonna dip up out of here. Yes, James.
I got Jewel. Period. So it's a quote that I find like very like important. So it says, notice the people who are happy for your happiness and sad for your sadness. They are the ones who deserve a special place in your heart. Do with that with y'all, please.
Coach Johnson, come back to us. Thank you. You, Jewel. Huh?
I got Jewel. My Jewel is y'all should like my picture because I don't feel as though that y'all like right now. It's like no. My Jewel is basic communication. If you feel as though you have no like support system, talk to your people, talk to your friends, talk to your family and your surroundings, because you may not know, but I'm sorry to say it, but your friends be there before your family would be. So yeah.
All right. Thank you, James and Shalom, for being on today. And thank you everybody for participating. My jewel today is everybody is deserving of a supportive network and everyone definitely is entitled to a supportive network. So just check to see what y'all look like. Everybody has one somewhere, somehow.
And yo, just real quick, don't be fooled by Mr. Creativity because yes, I probably didn't post his flyer, but who got him his first consultation when he wasn't even on? He wasn't on the success session when I was talking about his business and got Miss D's House of Sweets to commit to purchasing from his business. That's what I do. I get people to buy. I don't just post. I get people to buy. That lady that played Chaos Movies, y'all, supposed to give her $100. I'm looking for her. We're going to find her. Marcus Allen, Now Faith. I was on his back for how many weeks about getting Now Faith masks? He finally got masks. Guess who's selling out? Exactly. Maya, let us see you not put this page up tomorrow because you've been bluffing for years. I've been telling you for years to take that poetry seriously. Now you're going to put up a page tomorrow on the 8th. Let me not see a page up. It's going to be blood in the streets. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Miss Jody. Listen, if y'all don't have a person, they're going right there. They're going right there that will hold you accountable for everything that you say out of your mouth. So absolutely, thank y'all. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yes, thank y'all for a great conversation. See y'all, Mr. Creativity Coach Johnson. See you tomorrow, Miss Bunny Mo. Y'all know I had to let them know real quick, try to play me. Yeah, I don't stuff because y'all be faking, man. Like y'all be really out here faking in these streets. Lamar, I got you. People won't buy your stuff. I ordered my do-rags. So y'all don't even know this, but I'm gonna put on a wavy way do-rag and I'm gonna post it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But Lamar, you know, since most of my Instagram is kids, like they broke. So I got to make the call out specifically to the adults and tell the adults, because that's where you're going to get your money from. You ain't going to get your money from these broke kids. Hey, y'all, my sister on here, y'all. That's right. Absolutely, Miss Ganger, let them know. Hey, right. But look, y'all, that is our time for today. We had an amazing, amazing, amazing day today. Like Thursdays used to be my favorite day because of Thriving Thursdays. But now that I don't get to see y'all in person, Fridays are now my new favorite day because we do our whole fun stuff. But if you're joining us for Thriving Thursdays tonight, we got a special session, y'all. Those people from Raw Talk, y'all know those people? I think they call them Mini Elder and Stinker used to be the Don. They're going to be taking over Thriving Thursdays tonight to have an important conversation about music and how music influences our culture, our behavior, and all that stuff. So they're going to be on here tonight for Thriving Thursdays. So today has been great, y'all. Looking forward to tomorrow. Y'all already know what it is, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Success sessions. You want to be successful? This is where you come. This is where you go. This is where you start when you want to be successful. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. For people who are joining us later for Thriving Thursdays, I'll see you right here at 6 o'clock. But I hope that y'all have an amazing rest of the day.